Welcome to Legends of Avantris, where we six nerds embarrass ourselves for your entertainment. We are playing a game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is a 2+ year campaign. We started in December of 2016? 2015? 2015, December 2015.
1895.
Hey all, Bush, Folly Potter, love you guys. Tim, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Tim. Misaki. Yeah, great. All of our friends are here. Good to see you guys. Welcome back. And if you're new joining us, it's going to get weird. Get ready.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. So anyway, we have been playing this campaign for over 2 years. This is a home, and they're only level 7, because I'm a horrible monster. And this is a homebrew setting, a homebrew campaign entirely. It's set in the world of Avantris, hence our channel name, Legends of Avantris. And then
that's where it comes from.
I know, right? Just a little bit of housekeeping. We do this every stream. We are playing 5th edition. We are playing mostly rules as written, but there's a lot of homebrewing. There's a lot of rules as for fun, rules intended. Rich, why don't you fix my camera so this guy's in here?
I dumb goofed it. I dumb. You know what?
The stream guys fucked up. Really, this Joker.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I did.
I do now.
Yeah, see, now that I pointed it out, it's like, oh wow, the horrible, dirty gray. You're horrible, Rich. So
this is going swimmingly.
There we go.
Better?
Primo.
Yourself.
Fine. So we'll have some rules of fun. If we mess up anything, if I mess up anything and it's deliberate and it's not ironic, please let us know. The page number in the PHP, DMG, Monster Manual, etc. Xanathars, Folos, whatever it is. And with that, I think we'll go around the table and introduce our party. We'll start
Twitch.
as...
We're on Twitch.
Oh, and we're on Twitch, by the way. If you're on Facebook, you can like our Twitch page. It should be pinned in the comments hopefully soon. If it's not.
Good.
And if you're on Twitch, like our Facebook page. We are simulcasting, so cross the streams. Always want to cross the streams. Please like us on both.
Gross.
And then we will finally introduce our players. We are starting with Rodex Stonehearth, played by Richie here. He is a mountain dwarf fighter, a battle master fighter, a former soldier, comes from the frigid, frozen tundra regions of Mammoth, from people that are eternally at war with frost giants. He found a horn of magical significance, it seems, that holds the key to the fate of his people. He's looking for answers about that. We then have Ganji Stormscale, played by Scotes, over here. He's a bronze, dragonborn war cleric of Bahamut. He is also a military researcher, combat medic. He was a soldier and researcher in the southern desert region of Nekbet, where his people, the Chromatic Dragonborn, are also in a war, but with the metallic, not chromatic, he's metallic, with the Chromatic Dragonborn. And he was sent northward to find relics and artifacts that could help with the war. His whole squad was wiped out except for him, and so he's venturing forth alone to finish his mission. We then have Sylvie Flickerwicket, played by Nikki here. She's a forest gnome warlock, pact of the Archfey patron, rather. And she stumbled through a Fey crossing when she was a little bit younger in her swamp home of Whipperwallow Swamp. And
best home.
And she stumbled into the Feywilds, where she met the Queen of the Summer Court, Titania. She made a pact with that, gave her warlock powers, and she is in service of the Summer Court, and she is basically following what the dreams tell her where she to go. We then have Annulin Mosgrove, played by Kelsey, down here, I guess. I don't know that way. There you go. Got it.
We gotta work on that.
We're gonna work on that.
Next
okay, yeah, there we go.
Around here somewhere.
She is a...
Somewhere.
I don't know, who's bamboozling who?
If you cross the streams, you get to Annual.
We're crossing the streams. She is a wood elf ranger, a hunter ranger. She lived in a forested region that was raided by fire giants. Her father was slain, her mother was kidnapped and put into slavery. She is figuring out ways to help free her and hopefully help her join her family or brother and help rescue her remaining surviving family in slavery. And then finally, we have Vandris Truestrike, played by Andy. There we go. I got it. He is a high elf rogue, an assassin rogue. He is a bounty hunter from the port city of Goldhaven, where we are currently in our story. he has joined these fine party members in the pursuit of Orpheus Radamanthus, the dangerous tiefling sorcerer who had been stealing a whole bunch of strange, mysterious artifacts on a crime spree, and then we recently figured out that he's been doing strange experiments too, and also allegedly diplomacy, as we can maybe be seeing the results of which. And I am Mikey, your dungeon master. I write fan fiction and roll dice, and that is all I do. So, and hashtag Vandreamy, that's why we have Avantris, the only really reason he's the face. That's how it works. And then, I guess, with that, we'll get into last time on Dragon Ball Z. Let me get my music going so I can actually focus.
Nikki, I imagine it's hard to see like that.
I can see perfectly fine.
I think she's going to do the whole session.
Her
right
eyes are right there.
I only know Bulbasaur.
Her eyes are right there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Our guest player, Bulbasaur.
Our guest player.
My glasses are on. I can see clearly now.
We're actually, this episode of Legends of Avantris is sponsored by Pokemon Go. Catch 100 new Pokemon from the Hoenn region. New updates. Not actually, that's a joke.
We were already skirting the line with last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
now we're really
don't
done.
sue us, Niantic and Nintendo, and you're sending your 6,000 lawyers after us. We are not actually sponsored by anyone. No one actually cares. Besides you guys, and we love you guys.
We love you.
Last time on Legends of Avantris, the party, all of you had come home. You had enjoyed the festivities of the masquerade hosted by not Orpheus. I keep fucking up. Alphonse LeBlanc, not the same person. I swear to God.
He's a Dracula.
They're both
he's a daytime Dracula.
Oh, they're
Everyone's a Dracula.
Hashtag daytime
Hashtag
Dracula.
daytime Dracula. Hashtag bless. Hashtag Vandreamy.
Hashtag crockblocked.
Yeah, hashtag crockblocked. You got home from the masquerade. You realized that things were afoot with the Children of the Sea. You then went to bed, you woke up, and then the next day there was this heavy layer of fog covering the whole city. It was a very thick layer. People weren't too alarmed by it, but it was definitely the thickest it has been in a long time. You did some, you did a bit of shopping. You unloaded a bunch of useless junk that you collected over the whole
Yeah,
campaign.
we did.
Yeah, thank
And
God.
got a bunch of fuck ton of gold, probably a mistake on my part. A bunch of golds for that. But as you were leaving, you heard alarm bells. Avantris had lived in the city a while and only heard it once before in a time of great danger. And so it was obviously a big deal. They saw a troop of sea eagles, which are the guards, the military really of the town, the mercenary military of the town, rushing to the docks. And as they ran off to investigate to the docks, they heard screams, innocents being slaughtered, pillaging, plundering. People were saying it was pirates. They got to the docks and they discovered that yes, these were pirates, but they were crocodilian pirates, which you then discovered the name of their crew was the Lockjaw Crooks. So Krooks. And
Naturally,
of course. You fought them off, and then only to realize that the city was also being bombarded by huge flaming boulder meteor type things. And then also they had seemingly sky mounts, aerial mounts of giant vultures. This was an all-out assault on the city. You fought off many of these pirates. You managed to protect yourselves at the dock. You fought your way through the city, made it to Noble Garden, avoided some combat, and you saw that the town's guard, the Seagulls, seemed to have been taking back a lot of the city. A lot of slain, a lot of fleeing pirates, but you got to Noble Garden. It was a little bit less. Secure. There were a lot of pirates. You managed to avoid some of them, but then as you were making your way through past like this garden area towards one of the more wealthy noble district, you came across what seemed like a garden park area when you encountered this huge lumbering, bulked up Lockjaw, and he had this huge harpoon with a chain on it, and on his shoulder was a squirming human figure and a younger human male you recognized to be Reed Brachma, the Silver Serpent, one of the seven rulers, the youngest of the seven rulers of Goldhaven. You recognize him because he did actually take off his mask when he went with you to meet Amalia. So you actually got a look at his face and you realize that it's him. He does seem to be moving, does not seem to be dead, but also as you approach, you did see that the direction of the Egg of Eternity, the great museum and collection of Vito Velocinek, the artificer of the Silver Serpents, was smoking very heavily. You also looked out on the sea and saw that there were basically a fleet of seeming pirate ships, also engaged by seagull ships. You saw that there might seem to be winning, that the battle was underway, but immediately in front of you was this park area, and you see Reeve. He's struggling, but this enormous crocodilian figure is not even remotely threatened by his impotent struggling. And with that, we'll begin the segment.
So we were just outside Noble Garden, correct?
You are in Noble Garden.
Yeah.
Oh, we made it to Noble. Okay.
Yes, we are currently in Noble Garden.
So how far are we from the guy that's carrying Reeve?
I would say you're probably like 150 feet. Let us know if the music's too loud, by the way, and we'll turn it down. So.
Does he look like he's running away? Or is he...
So, you look, he's basically walking through this park area. He just got over these hedges, and he's walking through. He is heading towards the direction of the sea.
And so we're seeing him walk away from us.
But he seems like he's walking. He doesn't seem like he's like running or...
He's just kind of lumbering around. He's carrying Reeve, and Reeve is struggling, and he's walking. He has this huge harpoon in one hand, and a huge maul of razor-sharp teeth.
So you're saying Reeve doesn't look like he's enjoying it?
No, he's not. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so I bolt towards the guy, and I scream, "Drop him!" And I rush and try to get him in the back.
Everyone roll for initiative.
Yeah!
Okay.
Fuck.
Am I close enough to do that?
He said it was 150 feet away.
Just uncover the rest of it.
No.
So we'll just say, I'll place everything. So Rodek pulls up his axe and starts just immediately sprinting towards what is transpiring.
So before he said that, I was going to say that I was going to run with him, and once I got into 120 feet, I wanted to throw an Eldritch Blast.
We'll give you an Eldritch Blast. And
that's why I asked how far away he was.
So you'd be here, coming in the direction here. This is southward. Oop. So this is southward. This is going towards the sea. You see hedging here in this little park. The cobblestone here is very nicely maintained. There's a beautiful fountain in the center, as you can see here. It's very beautiful, as you can see by my drawing.
Gorgeous.
You can't see it
Is
yet.
that
No, don't show them.
Wait.
Don't show them.
Can I just to be sure, this isn't the fountain we were playing in as animals, right?
No.
The masquerade.
This is different.
No.
How about I'm trying to figure out the angle. There we go. That's the one.
So he's made it right about there.
Okay.
And as you all approach, you all run up, and Sylvie is going to fire off her Eldritch Blast, and then as that happens, you see four more crocodilian creatures pop up from behind hedges. Two are kind of more of a medium size, and they are almost juggling what seem to be these brutish-looking axes, and the other two are even smaller than the mutagenic, the ones that were breathing fire on you. And these are cackling, and they also have rows and rows of vials filled with strange liquids. And so we are going to... We're going straight into combat, as you do.
As one does.
Yeah, we need wee joss. No motherfuckers need wee joss.
Yeah, we need wee joss.
Do we know the wee joss?
Do you know the wee joss? So they pop up here, and then these are going to be on either side.
This is a big old battlefield here.
And With that, I'm going to need everyone to tell me what they got from 20 to 25.
24.
24.
Oh, get out of here.
We're going to need to turn...
Get out
Can everyone hear Annulin in the chat? She's a little quiet.
Turn the TV up.
Oh.
Where's the... Oh, is that...
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Sorry. So, I'm just, sorry guys. 20 to 20, 15, 20?
17.
17? Okay.
18 for me.
Point. 17 for Sylvie, 18 for Vandress. Rodek and Gandhi, what do you get?
9.
7.
Oh my god.
Wow, I beat somebody?
Let me just roll 2 more
Sure
initiative
did.
rolls here. Oh wow.
Thank you, Buck. Shot me. That's awesome. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
What did we
do.
say?
He said that he's followed our Facebook page. He's going to try and get caught up.
Oh yeah, welcome. All of our episodes are on Facebook too. You can see all of that. And then finally, we have our last roll here.
So it doesn't... Basically, it starts in the epilogue of our first arc. That was when we started streaming. So we're hopefully going to get some kind of synopsis of our first arc at some point on Facebook or a website. So then you can get fully caught up.
Okay, with that, Sylvie, you get a surprise Eldritch Blast attack.
So I rolled for them already, if that was okay. I just left the dice here, but I could re-roll if you prefer.
What are you doing?
What's that?
I said I rolled for them already. Could you just
That's
let
fine,
me
yeah,
know?
that's fine, yeah.
So the first one was 15 plus 8, and the other one was 10 plus 8.
To the big guy?
Yeah.
Okay. That
So the lowest would have been 18.
both of them hit.
25 damages.
25 damages. Okay. so
55.
And he's dead.
That was easy.
Yeah, you know. Okay. So you run up, and he doesn't really even seem to notice you. He is focused on heading towards the sea. As you get a little closer, you see Reeve is in rough shape. He's bruised. He's a little bit bloody. But you manage to run up and cast 2 bolts of the Eldritch Blast. Both hit. He kind of roars and he looks at you, and he just drops Reeve on the ground with a loud thud. You see that his hands and legs are bound, and he's squirming, and he turns, and they all look at you, and they are ready to fight. Annulin, you're up.
Okay, can I do a little setup here?
Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, there we are.
You're here.
Hello.
Sorry. We're very far. Well,
It'll condense, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
quickly
There.
close the range.
And can you explain to me again the round portion? Is that like a tall hedge?
Yeah, it's a tall hedge.
hedge here.
So like we can't see, like line of sight, we can't see them behind, right?
You might be able to see the big guy over you, but he probably have half cover, and then you wouldn't be able to see like medium or small.
Okay.
So these little guys we probably couldn't see.
Yeah.
Okay, word. Alright. I am going to step forward to like of that entranceway, the right corner.
This one?
Back a little bit, but yeah. Just to the right side.
Oh.
My right.
Uh.
the right.
That way?
Yeah. Good enough.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to cast Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on a dude.
Channel your hunter ranger power. The desire to kill goes right on him.
Okay, and I am going to do 2 arrow attacks. All right, I got a 27 and a 15.
Both hit.
What?
Sweet. Okay, so the first one is this. First one is 17 damage.
Okay.
Second one is 18 damage.
Okay. Wow. So as soon as you approach, you run up and you start firing. The Eldritch Blast hit him, and you follow up with 2 arrows right in the side as Reeve falls to the ground. already kind of the blood is coming out of him. He looks surprised, but he is very angry. He has this vicious-looking harpoon, and he gets ready to throw it at you. And with that, it is the harpooner's turn.
Can I ask a question also?
Yes, please.
What?
Good.
Warn me, God. How big is Reeve?
Reeve is a medium size. He's probably like 5'4", 5'5".
Okay.
So he's like, a teenager. Like maybe older, maybe like 17 to 18, something like that.
And I forget, he's like a human, right?
He's a human, yep.
Okay.
All of the serpents are human.
Got it.
Cool. And to answer Michael,
I just answered.
you answered that. Richie got it. So anyway, with that, he is going to use his harpoon. And he's going to walk towards Annulin. He's going to walk right about here, and he's going to throw his harpoon at Annulin.
Uh-oh.
And get a natural 20.
Ooh. Oh, those dice!
Ooh.
I'm gonna destroy them.
Like her chorus move.
I'm gonna melt them when you're not looking. God.
It's always a bad time when it takes your DM a couple seconds to count up all the dice he has
That's
to
never
roll.
a good time.
Doing 16 points of piercing damage.
Oh, that's nothing.
Chump change.
And make a hold on.
This is where the damage comes in.
And the harpoon hits you, and you are now grappled. It sinks into your flesh. You feel the barbs piercing your flesh and grab onto you. He then reels you in and yanks you. You are yanked through the air, and you feel the damage in your wound as he opens his mouth and gets ready to bite you. You fly into his mouth, and he is going to make a bite attack.
You
Oh,
fly
God.
into his
I
mouth.
don't, did we short rest last time?
We did.
We did.
I totally forgot to heal.
You didn't use any hit dice?
I just have to say, before Annulin dies,
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
before Annulin dies, thank you. It is Bulbasaur, and I appreciate that you like my hat.
Not sponsored.
And you fly at his mouth, and despite you flying right at there, you're able to maybe grab onto the line and dodge around. You clatter at the floor, and he misses the bite attack.
I am so nimble.
But the harpoon is firmly at your, and just put him just right at his face, as like right there, yeah. So you're at his feet with a harpoon, and you grappled.
Where's Reeve's body? Can we have a
Oh yeah,
marker
let's
for
just do a minion
Reeve's
for Reeve.
Baudet?
Let's do
Or
these guys.
Richie's dice?
There you go.
You don't use D4s.
He
right?
dropped him there or up here when he was here? Before he moved or after?
Before he moved, I thought.
Just let
Was
the
that?
DM put him wherever
Okay.
he wants
Yeah,
to
I mean,
put him.
DM can be.
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
He's
he's like over here
wriggled that
somewhere.
way.
He would probably be right there, and he's crawling. Yeah, it's fine,
Excuse
it's fine.
me, teacher, you forgot to give us homework.
forgot to assign.
Goddamn nerd.
And with that, it is the end of the harpooner's turn, and the alchemists now go. And so with that, they are going to both
Oh, gotcha.
make their way around. They hop over the ridge here, and they hop over the ridge here, and I'm just going to actually probably put them right around here because I didn't place them appropriately. They're probably going to be over here. And they are, one is going to run right around here, and the other is going to run right around here. And the one on the left is going to chuck a strange vial of green liquid. It clatters right in the middle of all of you, and this green gas explodes out of it.
Poison gas?
And
Hey, yo, we. Hey, yo, we. Hey,
it
yo,
is
we.
a 20-foot radius around you guys, so I think it covers all of you.
Yep.
And everyone make a con saving throw.
Okay.
I'm proficient
No,
in
that's-
those.
I'm not.
sure it's not a dex saving throw?
Yep.
I have to know this is poison. I have advantage
It's
against
not
saves.
poison.
Oh, it's not?
Not poison.
Well, 8.
8.
Oh boy. Mine is a 9.
Okay.
Wow, we all suck. We're really bad.
3.
We're really bad
Okay.
at Dungeons and Dragons.
This is a hallucinogenic potion.
Oh boy.
What?
As soon as the gas hits you, your mind starts to experience different things. So, Sylvie, you get a strange sense that enemies are all around you. Make a melee attack against the nearest creature. Rhoda.
Whew. What do I add for melee attack?
Plus
What would it
strength.
be? Yeah.
Oh, okay. 4.
So you go, and Rodek doesn't even feel it. We now have Rodek. You experience the same thing. You're going to turn around and make an attack against Sylvie.
Oh.
Do I have to?
Schmuck.
Well, roll low.
This would be the first time that
no.
we did things against
26.
Okay,
No,
roll
just
damage.
barely misses.
Hey, don't re-roll a 2.
3.
Oh,
There you go. That's
okay.
like minimum damage almost. Plus 5 is 8 damage.
Well, you don't have to re-roll if you don't want to, right?
Ganji.
That's true. Yeah, I could probably. Yeah, that's a good point.
Remember the last time Rodek got confused and jumped off a cliff?
I do remember that.
Ganji,
2.5
You
years
said
ago.
it was 8 damage?
8 damage. That's not bad.
Okay.
the hallucinogenic gas affects you in a different way. All of a sudden, you're filled with this horrible sense of fear. You sprint your full movement in a random direction. So roll a d4.
4.
4, so north, east, south, west. You move
Which way's this is north?
basically.
This was south, I thought.
Or
Yeah. So west would be toward the coast of this way.
this way?
Yeah.
So how many?
It's
1,
full
2,
movement.
3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 more, right?
Yeah.
6. Well,
Goodbye!
Well, I guess I'm not gonna die when everyone else does.
He's over there.
Finally,
He's,
Avantris, you are overcome with this strange lethargic. You just feel sluggish and like you're just like in the most mellow high of your life, and you have disadvantage on all attack rolls.
Oh,
no. So I rolled for Lumi because she's there.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
that's fair. She got a 4.
Okay, let's see what Lumi does.
Oh, well, hold on. I lied. Probably because she has. So it's con, right?
Yeah.
I didn't write con down. Strength, dex, intwiz, and chaw. I don't have her con written down.
let's
So
say
I
it's
rolled
plus
a
0.
4.
She fails. She fails.
When I figured she failed.
She suffers the same response as Ganji. Roll a d4.
I'm just gonna roll yours.
Alright.
2.
2 south. So
Run
that way.
towards everyone.
So
Oh, she's running
Wait.
towards everyone.
I thought you had said south.
yeah,
but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yep.
And her normal like walking speed is.
Oh no,
20.
you're heading north. No, south is that way.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So
So she's just flying off the map.
So she just flies off the map.
Okay.
Yeah. So she moves 100 feet flying that way. Okay.
Holy moly.
120 to be fair.
Sorry, that took a while. And so then the other one has this maroon colored liquid, chucks it in the area of the big harpooner, and this maroon gas erupts out, and you see the crocodile pirate inhale it, and then you start to see some of his wounds start to close up a little bit.
This guy?
Does Anulin get hit by it at least?
Yeah, does that get me too?
You smell a gas, and you're just coughing a little bit. Does not seem to do anything for you.
We
Fucking
tried.
warm bloods.
We tried.
Genetic engineering at its best.
Yep. Okay. And with that, it's Vander's turn. You can repeat. You can repeat the saving throw. You have to repeat the saving throw at the beginning of each of your turns.
Okay, so I will try to roll.
Yep. Con saving throw.
I got a 3.
Okay, you're still disadvantaged.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, so does Anulin count as being engaged with the
I would say
crocodile
so. I
harpooner?
would say so. He was trying to bite her, so yes.
Alright, I am going to move up, and I probably have to use my bonus action to dash to get there.
Yep, 1.5, 2, 3.5,
He
4.5.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to use it and I'll make it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, where do you want to go? You want to
Yeah,
go right there?
behind him.
Like there?
Yeah, because I'm fast, even though I'm sluggish.
Yeah,
I
that should
get
be fine.
disadvantage on all my rolls. Now I will roll for my attack.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that, there are guys here, and here.
Yeah, nope. I got a natural 1, so I failed.
Okay.
It's a 10 total. I don't think a 10 is going to hit.
No,
us.
natty 1 is an automatic.
Do you want to
fail.
stay there? Is that good?
Critical miss.
Yeah, after I actually stab myself in
Sprint,
the eye.
you sprint up as quickly as you can, being sluggish. You whip out your rapier. Your arm just kind of jellies, and you kind of just almost drop dead in the spine. Yeah, sorry.
Today's not my day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
shit.
it's not. Sylvie,
It's not anything.
repeat the saving throw.
9?
9. Please attack Rhoda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 17.
Nope.
Okay, you go, It hits a little bit harder this time, but it doesn't do anything. Rhoda, repeat the saving throw.
I'm proficient. Here we go. 6 plus 7 is 13.
13 does not pass. Please attack Sylvie.
That'll hit. 20 something. 24.
24. Okay.
And I rolled a lot of damage. 15 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Rodek once again swings his axe for the second time into Sylvie, overcome with this horrible paranoia that there's an enemy. They both are seeing a horrible enemy.
And wait, and so we can't do anything on our turns?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
That was your
That
turn.
was our
was your
turn.
turn.
Okay.
Ganji.
Alright, here we go. 17 plus 20. It's like 21.
The fear dissipates from your mind and you regain your senses.
Thank fucking God. Okay.
Where am I?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have it particularly any useful spells because that's touch range. I run up to you guys, cast Crusader's Mantle, so you do 1d4 extra damage to each other.
I love it.
Perfect.
Love it.
No, I am. How wounded does Annulin look?
How wounded do you look?
Sorry, lost my mute button. I've seen better days, but like I'm not like coughing up blood or anything.
Okay.
I
well,
like that. I'm going to avoid using numbers from
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay with that. I'm going to let that ride then, and I'm going to. Can I get across here? Can I like jump over?
Yeah, I would say you just make an acrobatics check or an athletics check, dealer's choice.
Okay. I'm gonna do.
Oh, those are just bushes. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
need to worry about that. You
I can
do
just
those,
kinda
yeah.
crash
That'd be
through.
hazardous terrain.
All right. So then I was like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Difficult.
Yeah,
terrain.
that's
We'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm just put myself in play again.
Okay. With that, it's Monsters 3, the axe throwers. So one is going to go around a little bit to Ganji, towards Ganji, just right there. And then one is going to just move a little bit past, getting in Vanish's range, just so he's past one up. There you go. And he is juggling, and he's going to chuck a number of axes at his way. And with that, he's going to chuck 3 axes.
Is that?
Literally evil crocodile clown pirates.
Oh. Well, 2 fails, but a natty 20. And
Sayonara.
I'd like a recount.
Vandris will take 13 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna artfully dodge that for half.
Okay, it slices you, but you manage to use your roguish agility and dodge out of the way a little bit. And then the other one is going to make 3 attacks against Ganji as he's making his way.
21 AC. 21 AC. 21 AC. 21
Fucking
AC.
plate armor is bullshit. 2 clank off your shield, you're able to dodge, but 1 manages to get into a weak spot in the armor and do a whopping 7 points of slashing damage. Yeah. And with that,
when those axes clank off your shield just right.
it's Annulin's turn. There's a huge looming crocodile looking to eat your face.
And I'm grappled, correct?
You're grappled, correct.
Am I prone also, or just grappled?
What was that?
Am I prone also, or just
No,
grappled?
you're not prone. You managed to land on your feet, but you realize that if you were really strong and were really lucky, you'd be able to pull yourself out, or you could attempt to try to cut the rope, but both are going to be pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, because you'd have have to like switch to your scimitars and shit to even attempt to.
Yeah. How's he looking?
He's looking pretty good.
I think you hit him
That's
once.
disappointing.
What? No, you took a lot of
Disappointing
damage.
to hear.
He's healing though.
Oh, Sylvie hit him.
Oh, that's
I
right.
did.
You got fucking healsies.
I hit
Okay,
him.
I gotta try to get out of there. So
He's pretty close.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
that's
to
a
cut
bunch
the
of
rope.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What do I do for that?
so if you want to drop your bow and pull your sword or axe or whatever, you got a scimitar, right? If you want to pull it in the same action to cut, you have to drop your bow on the ground to do that.
Ooh. What was my other option?
What?
With the rope on me?
You could try to pull it out with the strength check, or you.
Oh, I'll do that.
Okay.
Just rip it the fuck out.
Annually eating her Wheaties this morning.
Like pulling off a band-aid. Just a
You
spirit.
got it. You got it, Annie.
And I critically failed that.
What did you get? I mean, I guess yeah, you probably not gonna hit anyway. You try to yank the harpoon as this brute is lumbering over you, and it doesn't go anywhere. It really fucking hurts. But all you do, you've not managed to able to break it. It is now his turn. He is going to lean down and make a bite attack. You are not at maxing. And you see kind of as you're bleeding, his eyes go down and his eyes get wild. And you see that he's even more tuned into... are you kidding me? More tuned in...
To nothing.
To miss.
And he leans down and you still manage to dodge out of the way. But with it, he still is holding on to his... He grabs the harpoon and just thrusts it into you. And we'll see if that... Okay, it's going to automatically do damage. And that harpoon is going to do how much damage to you? 11 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
And with that, it is the Alchemist's turn. And they are... They are both going to then, having used their respective vials, they are going to both throw a different vial at Rodek and at Ganji. They're going to make an attack roll, and one is going to miss Rodek, and the other one is going to miss Ganji. They both throw vials, but you manage to easily dodge them. Avantris, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to stay right where I am and roll my con save.
Okay.
Hey, 18.
18. The sluggishness fades from your mind, and you feel like you are clear again and agile and dexterous.
Making attack roll.
Okay.
14.
Barely misses. You go in, and it clanks off of some of his thicker scales. Fortunately, Sylvie.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my thing.
Hi.
Nope. I want to attack Rodek.
Okay.
Very, very strongly want to. I'm gonna.
Don't we
I
all?
want- I just want-
Now's
I'm
not
just
the
slapping-
time.
You have to
Slapping
roll like an 18,
so
19, or
far.
20.
18.
Really?
18.
Okay, that'll do.
I'm the slapping.
Roll a d4.
No, it's 1 plus strength if
Oh.
if she's not proficient.
Oh, so 1 plus strength. What's the
So
strength?
I hit him for 1 damage.
Which does
Which is
nothing.
nothing.
You still.
You hurt your hand on his arm.
Right? Am I right? Correct me, chat. I think if you're like not proficient and unarmed,
Yeah,
I think
no,
that's
I think
1
that's
plus
right.
strength.
I think that's
Well,
Damn it.
you just give him a little slap.
And he just, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not even taking
Okay.
it.
I
and
didn't
yes,
notice.
and yes, it is a
Rodek,
miss.
make a con saving
A
throw.
wee tickle back there. I'm going.
Oh, we tackle.
A wee
Oh, we
tickle.
tackle.
Okay, it's gotta be
18.
18, that passes. The
Finally.
paranoia leaves you, and
So I'm gonna
Hit Sylvie in
Can
the
I like
face.
bonus action kick Sylvie in the face, and then I'm gonna just run up.
Draw an opportunity attack, Sylvie.
Oh. No, 12.
No,
Okay, you go, you're just slapping, slapping.
Slapping at the wind.
I would like to grab Annulin and pull her off the. If I can I like grab it and just try to like wrench her off?
Make a strength check.
Help me, Rodin.
I was under the impression you weren't supposed to remove the impaled object.
I don't know
This is
that.
Dungeons and Dragons, Andy. This is...
I don't know that.
Yeah, he's not the medic.
And it's strength.
Yeah.
That
That's
will
a
be
lot.
24.
You managed to pull Annulin off. She's free, but it
She
hurts so
bleeds out
badly
and
she takes
fails
3
3
points
saves.
of
Can I place her next to me
piercing damage.
or
I
behind
say-
me?
I would say you could, with that strength check, you'd be
Okay.
able to place her anywhere within 5 feet of you.
I'm gonna place her right behind me there.
Okay.
How about like right
You
there, right there?
heave. He's holding the harpoon very tightly, and he's trying to pull Annulin back. But you use your incredible dwarven strength and rip her off. Blood spurts everywhere. And you
go right.
And you just kind of chuck her behind
I
you.
cough up a considerable amount of blood and take Rodin.
Ganje.
Okay, now I will cast Healing Word on her because,
She's probably
reasons.
got blood.
As a
Why?
It's not going to be much healing though because I roll like shit. So sorry.
Literally anything is good right
4
now.
health.
Do I get to
You
roll
heal
for
for 4.
Lumi being able to come back to me, or has she
Yes.
just gone
yes,
forever?
yes. Sorry.
How many times should I roll? The same amount of times
Yes.
I roll?
It should have been. It was one more time.
Okay.
No, twice. Roll twice.
17. Should I use my con?
That'll
or-
pass. Yeah, that'll pass.
Okay.
So she comes back, and it'll be if she sprints back, it'll be 2 more rounds until she gets back, or 1 more round.
Yeah, it should
One
be
more.
one
All right, and then I'm going to run towards him and attack him.
Okay, cool.
I see.
Nice try. Wow.
Natty 20.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey. 7 nearly max damage. That's going to be 18 points of damage
To Big Dude Joe.
Nice.
to Big Dude Joe.
How much damage?
18.
18. Not bad. Not bad. You whip out Malleus Maleficarum, your magical warhammer, and it glows as soon as you grip the handle, shedding this radiant light, kind of gleaming through the fog. And as it illuminates even brighter because of the fog, the light catching the water particles, you bring it hard around his jaw. You see a tooth fly off as you smash it against his face. He looks upset. And he seems to not be quite bloodied.
Jesus.
Monsters 3, which would be the axe throwers. So we are going to have once again a Avantris and a Ganji. They have almost like these leather pouches, firm leather pouches of axes that they're just pulling out and just chucking. Remember the Ettins? Bags of axes?
Yeah.
Remember the Ettins?
Yeah.
So this is against Ganji. 3 hits.
Fuck me.
And oh no, you have 21.
I
AC,
do have 21
piece of shit.
AC.
2 hits. 2 hits, and so that'll be. So that'll be. Whoa. If I could find my shit. Oh wait, hold on. 9 points of slashing damage from 2 axes that go make their way, and they slash you. They find purchase, and all 3 of these are going to hit Vandris. Nine.
I have to uncanny dodge one of them. Does it? I guess it doesn't matter which. Just
Tell
the
me which.
first one.
I've rolled. Okay, I'll take that.
I mean,
one.
I should always pick before the damage is
Yes.
mentioned.
Yes.
So just the first
We'll
one.
just do the first one. Okay. So, and that has the damage, right?
Correct.
So let me do the quick math here.
just for the first one, I'll take full for the rest.
Okay. That is 16 points of slashing damage. as axes. You manage to dodge one, but the other two find purchase on your body. They're sticking out of you. It's looking bad. And then we have Sylvie, who is making a con saving throw.
15.
15? The paranoia leaves your mind. And you are seemingly wonder, like, man, I really thought I killed that monster. You look around, there's nothing, so you assume that you did it.
Yeah.
And so now Sylvie is free to move.
What would it be possible to use my action to mount my broom to get over to Reeve and get him onto it?
I could say that you could use your action to get on it, mount. I would say it would take to pull it out and mount it would be your action, and then you could probably get to him and like get him. You'd probably then have to use your next action to get him on the broom and then fly off.
Okay.
If that's what you're trying to do.
So I'd like to do that.
Okay. You want to move him over to Reeve?
Yeah, can you get me to Reeve?
Here?
Yeah.
And so, so you pull out your broom, which is usually on your back, and you mount it quickly, flying over the action and landing by Reeve. You see Reeve. He's hog-tied, or basically his hands and his feet are tied, and you see now that his mouth is also bound, and he is gagged as well. So he's like, and he looks at you. He is absolutely petrified. And so you're able to get to him, and we'll say that is your action.
So even though I'm not like going up, can I at the very least like put the handle of the broom like between his arms so that if something were to happen?
I said so if you're not getting off, then you can guide that in there and easily.
At the worst case, I'd have to take off.
Okay,
with
yeah.
him.
So you're ready to go and go away with him. That's totally fine. So that's all ready to go. And your movement is spent. Rodek, you're up.
All right. I would like to. Let's go here.
I'm sorry if I just mooned you guys.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hashtag Van Dreamy.
I would like. You know what? I'm just going to. Who's next? Ganji. And then. I could fuck over some of us.
That's always fun.
Let's just do it. Yeah, I'll do. Hold on. I'm gonna attack him once. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
18.
That hits.
Okay, I'm gonna make it a tripping attack.
Okay.
He has to make a strength save.
Okay.
TC 16.
Hold on. 16. He passes.
Okay, never mind. 7, 10, 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay.
And I'll attack again.
Your axe cleaves into its flesh. Blood is gaping out. He's pretty bloody now.
19 plus 8 is 27.
27 to hit. That hits. I believe it does.
4, 5, 9 damage.
9 damage?
9 damages.
Your axe swings in and hits him again. Not as much this time, but it definitely does a decent amount of damage. So, he is bloody. His eyes are bloodshot. He looks like he's in some kind of crazy, bloodthirsty rage. Ganji.
Let's auto attack his face.
Okay.
7 plus. What is that? 6 is 13. I don't think hits.
13?
Yeah.
Does not hit.
Okay.
To the big guy?
Yeah, it's a big guy. Do I have any left? I think I do. Yeah, I'm gonna attack him again.
Okay, cool.
11 plus 6 is 17 to hit.
17 to hit, that does hit. And there are also 2 rounds of him breathing in the healing shit.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, your Warhammer comes around, bashes into him, doesn't do as much as the previous one, but it does seem to leave this big welt. 10 damage, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Great. Monsters 3, which are the Axe Flingers? Did I do Monsters 3? Did I do the Axe Flingers here? I did.
Yeah.
I did. So let's do the Alchemist here, and we'll reset it. So they see what's going on. The Alchemists are going to see you, and this guy is going to pull his wand. He already used his maroon one. Now he's going to put the green gas right here.
Oh, fuck.
And chuck it. The green gas explodes around you. All three of you make a con saving throw.
Shit. 9.
13.
Oh, me too?
Yeah.
Hey, 17.
You manage to resist. Both of you don't. So let's see what happens. Sorry, I need to have the shit here.
Hopefully I get the attack of the nearest guy, which is still the big
Rodek, you feel sluggish as your limbs kind of start to feel heavy. You are disadvantaged on attacks.
Fuck.
In there.
And then Ganji, you are your speed is halved. You feel like even slower. It's your legs feel like jelly. Your speed is halved, and you have attacks have advantage against you.
Okay.
Okay. With that, and then the other one is going to throw its maroon vial, and it is going to go clatter. He's going to move around here, and he's going to throw the maroon vial. And it's going to go there to number 2, and the healing gas comes out, but they have not been damaged. So.
By the way, I assume the healing gas doesn't affect me.
Oh.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah. Lizard folk are not dragonborn. Okay. With that, it is Annulin's turn. Annulin.
God, sorry, I'm really struggling with the mute button today. Okay. I am going to shift a little bit just so that Ganji's not in my way and make 2 attacks on the big dude.
Okay. Good.
Got a 21 and a 25.
They both hit.
Take him out.
Right. So first damage. That's not very good. It's 8 and 7 is 15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And second damage. 19.
19. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, shit.
As soon as your harpoon wound, slightly healed by Ganji, it's bleeding. It stings. You manage to pull yourself up. I'm going to assume that you didn't get your bow.
She didn't drop her bow.
I didn't drop it.
You didn't get your bow. Sorry,
Yeah, she did the strength thing.
Sorry, yeah. So you pull your So you still have your bow, and you fire 2 arrows. They sink in deep. He lets out this roar. There's blood pouring out of all sorts of wounds that you guys have.
I yell at him. And I say, "Doesn't feel so good, does it?"
That'll show up.
He just looks at you and roars. He doesn't he can't even tell if he's sentient or not. Then Monsters 1 is Big Dude, ain't it? With that, he is going to once again, after you yell at him, he's going to point at you and heave his harpoon and chuck it at you again. And
Shouldn't have provoked him.
No. Get Shrek'd.
And it flies, and you barely dodge out of the way. And with that, he's going to turn and make a bite attack against Ganji, who just was the last one to hit him. And which has advantage. I guess it would. And that is going to hit. He sinks his teeth onto you, and that is going to deal... Ooh, never see these. Are you kidding me? 6, 8, 16 points of piercing damage. as the jaws sink into you, and you are now grounded. And with that, we are going to do proper order. We're going to do the Alchemist again. They are going to fling. One sees what's happening with Sylvie, and he is going to fling a vial at her of strange liquid, and that is
How
going
about
to
a drink?
that is going to miss spectacularly. The other one is going to once again fling one at Rodek, and that is going to be a natty 20.
Always.
And you feel this strange acid start to get into your creases of your armor. That is going to be 10 points of acid damage.
All right.
Okay. Avantris.
Okay, I'm going to attempt for a fourth time to attack the guy standing right in front of me.
Okay.
I'm not affected by anything, so no con throw. Just going right for the old attack.
Yep,
The old attack.
What is it?
Got a 13.
I use my reaction to give you 10.
Hey.
That hits.
Ha ha!
Got him.
Let me pull up my old character sheet here.
You feel the guidance of Bahamut, where you would have missed. You feel your hand guided back.
I'm rolling like garbage. 21 points of damage.
Like, that's not bad.
No, that is trash. Trash damage over here, man. I got a 4, a 4, a 4, and then a 3.
4 on a D6 is better than average.
21
good.
points?
Yeah, but the 2 on my D8 and the 1 on the other D6 really level that out.
You slide all of Venom's spine deep into it, and he lets out this roar. He's getting pretty weak. As it's healing, everybody else needs to get healed, by the way. Okay. Okie doke. With that, it's Sylvie's turn.
Okay, I am going to use my action to try and like actually get Reeve onto the broom and then fly out.
Okay, why don't you just make this a straight dex check?
Oh god. 16?
16. Okay, so although he is larger than you, he's a pretty light guy, despite his apparent love of food. And you manage to heave him up onto your broom, and you get him pretty fastened on. He's like, he starts to struggle a little bit, but he realizes like he recognizes you from you were wearing a mask, but he's kind of like, is it her? You kind of see that look in his eyes, and he kind of calms down. And you get him nicely on the broom, and
then I just kind of wanted to go back towards around this area, so
okay.
Staying with everyone but up.
You hear,
but just not too high.
And some panic as you fly over, but he seems to be stable, and so you're hovering on your broom, kind of looking down.
Make him poop his pants.
He hasn't already. Come on now.
You never know. You never know.
I sure hope
He
not.
wore his brown pants today.
I don't want to have to get this broom dry cleaned.
Rodek.
So I would like to. He looks pretty bad?
Yeah.
Okay. I will attack him twice. So one's a natty 20.
Oh, wow.
And one will miss. So. Ooh, that's horrible though. 5, 6, 7, 8. 18 damage.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
That's a natural 20.
No.
You're poisoned or whatever, aren't you?
It was acid damage.
What?
It was just acid damage.
Less than that.
No,
it's
but
not...
through the.
But you're
disadvantaged.
disadvantaged.
Did you roll a con save?
Didn't I?
No, you did not.
20 gazillion.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So it was 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 5, so only 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a
Okay. So, despite it really kind of feel like you're going to sink in deep, he shifts a little bit, and it doesn't do that much damage, unfortunately. Ganji, you're up.
Alright, so I'll do my con save. Which is 17 plus
Passes.
4. Okay.
The
great.
your jelly legs return.
Excellent. Okay, I am going to attack this guy, because fuck him.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
That's not going to do it. Or wait,
What do you get?
4 plus 6 is 10, but I'll add 10 to it.
That hits.
3 is 6 damage.
6
Are we
damage.
adding 10 to it?
It's my channel divinity. I can do it.
Divine something.
And then,
6 damage.
yep.
You whack him a little bit with the warhammer.
A little whack.
And I will use my bonus action, assuming he's still alive, to attack him again.
Okay. You swing. He's still alive.
Nope, that's not going to do it.
Okay.
That is a natural
You
1.
swing it back around and you stumble a little bit after getting that success. You're like, oh, I hit him with something, and then you fail, unfortunately. And so we are going to have they're juggling one, and they see Sylvie flying over, and they see Reeve. They are going to one is going to switch one axe at basically each Avantris, Ganji, and Sylvie. So we're going to hit Sylvie. And miss. Ganji is going to hit, just barely. That is going to be 7 points of slashing damage. Vandris, whoops, I keep doing that. Vandris is going to hit, and that's going to deal...
Uncanny Dutch!
Okay, that is going to deal 4 points of slashing damage.
Woo!
And the other one is going to fling it at Vandris, Rodek, and Ganji. They're going to be mixing up their targets now. Vandris, the first one is going to miss Vandris. Second one's on Rodek. That's going to hit, dealing 8 points of slashing damage. And then we got, and then just completely off into the hedges as another axe. I think that's all of them, right?
You either get natty 20s or you miss.
Right.
With that, Lumi's back.
Yay!
Anulin, you're up.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep on wailing at this guy.
Wailing away.
So, how's he looking? Is he like...
What's that?
How's he look?
He's looking pretty rough.
I'll still double attack him, just to be sure. 25 and 27.
25 and 27. Both hit.
18 damage.
Okay.
And 19 damage.
Can you put a Luminous Maximus over there?
Yeah.
Both of your arrows sink into him. He's looking very bloody. He's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit as that wildness is starting to dim a little bit.
Just barely wounded.
And with that, he yanks his harpoon back, and he sees you as you attack him, and he's going to fling the harpoon yet again, and
He wants the annual.
that is going to hit, dealing.
Good point.
It sinks into you, dealing 9 points of piercing damage.
And I slump to the ground.
And he is going to yank you in, and realizing that he still has his teeth on, he still has Ganji in his bite, he's going to just continue to bite Ganji and get a natural 20.
No
He
way!
either misses or the 20.
There's
I'm
no
telling
way.
you.
This is going to be fun. This is why you get dice rolling.
I think you just killed 2 of us in one turn.
We'll see. Oh, jeez, yep. This is why I should never go on big guys. Ever, ever, ever.
Oh my god, I'm going to need a calculator for this.
Is it more than 20?
Hold on.
I mean, it is important.
He wants to really put you in the dirt. He doesn't want to just be like, yeah, okay, you're down. He's like, it's 400 damage.
Triple
critical. You're dead. Give me your character sheet.
And then
Just
he,
as fun.
yeah, and then he smashes my phone
Yeah,
on
you
his
just
knee.
take a hammer and smashes your phone.
Like, I can't rip this.
He grabs the queen of camera,
camera
and
queen?
smashes my phone.
The camera queen.
46 points
Yeah,
of piercing damage.
that'll do it. That would have done it at pretty much any point of time.
46 points of piercing damage as his bloody rage causes him to just crunch his jaws. You feel the pressure, tons of pounds of pressure, as his massive jaws crush it on you, cracking your armor a little bit, and you pass out. Monsters.
Knock him over.
Monsters.
Watch the paint job.
What's the big job? God.
Monsters 3. I fucked up the round again with the little guys. Let's do the Alchemist now. And with that, we're just going to get two flasks. One's going to get Rodek, and that's going to hit. You're going to take.
Just Rodek, it's not AoE.
What was that? Yeah, no, just on him.
Rodek.
It just kind of explodes on him, and you're going to take 5 points of acid damage. And then one's going to go towards Avantris, and that is going to just miss horribly. So it's shattered. You see the acid melting away a little bit of the top of the cobblestone. And with that, it is Annulin's turn, who is unconscious, so make a death save.
That's a 1.
You got a natty 1?
Ooh.
Yeah, does that mean I die?
No, you don't die. You have two fails.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You have 2 fails.
That's the thing. 2 fails.
That's rules
Yes.
is written?
Rules is
Rules is
written.
written. 2 fails.
This is high stakes, guys.
This is
Okay.
especially because our
don't
healer
worry.
is dead.
We're good.
Well, I do stabilize on my next turn, unfortunately. But,
Yeah, you stabilize, so that's good.
Yeah.
I got a plan, guys. I got a plan. Don't worry. Continue.
With
We can't hear you, Vanders.
Don't you metagame this shit.
No, I'm not metagaming.
You let her die if she's
I'm not
supposed to
metagaming.
die.
So, with that, it's Monster's 1 turn. He is going to make a bite attack against both Annulin and Ganji, who he has in his grasps.
Wait, who?
So, wait, did Monsters?
He's the one who killed
He
both
just
of
Oh,
us.
he's that's right. Okay.
I was like, oh my
Jesus.
god.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, then he's going to kill
Who
both of
gets
us
a-
outright.
who gets a-
I already
Like,
used.
actually kills
Wait,
you both.
So I
The harpoon killed Annulin, and the bite killed me.
He's already harpooned this guy. Just harpooned.
It's
just it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
sorry,
it.
Sorry. So his turn's over.
Yes.
Okay.
Monsters 2, didn't you just do Monsters 2
Yeah,
turn?
Monsters 2 just
We're
threw
on
their
Avantris.
alchemical
Then
things.
why did Annulin roll a death save? What did I have?
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea why you told her to do
Okay,
that.
so whose turn was it?
It's
Vandris.
Vandris.
Vandris. Sorry, Vandris.
Yeah, then the monsters, then me.
Yeah.
I was
Alright,
really
I'm
confused.
going to attack the guy in front of me, obviously.
Okay.
Let me start by doing
Because
that.
we kept mixing up the Axe Throwers and the Alchemist, I thought we were there on Monsters 3 again. We just skipped all of your guys' turns. I literally just skipped around.
Wait, he's Monsters 1. What?
18.
That hits. Roll damage.
Shaking the rust off, guys.
So
Here we
you
go.
don't have to roll a death save yet, Annulin.
Would you say I haven't?
You don't have to. No. I
Wait,
fucked
that
up.
doesn't make sense then, because she has to go before me.
No, I thought it was her turn. Yeah, it was Monsters 2's turn. I thought it was Monsters 3's turn, so I had her go again to do the save. So she wouldn't do a save yet. So I fucked up.
So no.
Monsters
save
2 hit me with the poison.
With the poison. I thought that they were Monsters 3.
Okay.
So then I skipped all you guys.
Got
so
it.
we're fine. DM, I fuck up a lot. You'll learn that
He
from
does.
Monsters 3.
He does. We
I fuck up
keep
a
him
lot.
honest most
It's a
of
lot
the time.
going on up here.
24.
We never keep
24
honest.
points of damage.
Please.
Because it's the big guy, how would you like to do this?
Oh, baby. After seeing 2 of my comrades drop to the ground in severe pain, I am fueled with the righteous fury of redemption and vengeance. And he's big, and I'm assuming he's not looking at me. So I'm going to run up his back and drive the rapier through the back of his neck.
Okay, you, after beheading the first enormous crocodile guy that you faced, it's almost old hat at this point. He is fully engaged. You see Ganji is limp in his jaws, blood streaming around his teeth. This is a wild, hulking animal. Avantris, not Avantris, the other elf, Annulin, is also limp, her body on the spear where the sea eagle's body was after he'd flung it off. It looks horribly dire. They need you to come in and kill this guy or they are dead. And you are up to the task. Avantris draws his rapier and you sprint up behind him. You don't get a vault this time, but you get enough leverage into the air, and you Sephiroth the shit out of him, driving Venom's spine deep into his spine. He lets out this roar for a split second, and then you feel it sever, and he thuds down, collapses. Annulin falls, is kind of knocked to the side. The jaws clench and then release a little bit on Ganji. Both of them are still unconscious, but...
Can I use a bonus action?
Yeah. You can use one.
And I'm being creative here, so tell me if I can't do this. But in my bloodlust of having just murdered this giant leader type thing, I'd like to yell some taunting scream like "Come and get me!" to draw the focus away from our fallen comrades.
I'll say you can make an intimidation check.
Oh, I like that. I'm not very intimidating, but I'm gonna try. Oh, not good. My intimidation is all of 8.
8. You say the thing to come and get you, and you hear it reverberate around this square, this park, and you see them kind of look at you like, and then they're still.
It sounded better in my head.
Yeah.
Come and get me, guys.
Come and get me, Selve.
Okay.
The nip.
Well.
Said I should have slipped some nip.
Slip the nip.
Slip the nip.
I don't know what to do.
Laser blasting, guys.
Yeah. What would it take for me to try to attack from my broom?
I would say you could make.
Because I can't leave Reeve there by himself. So steal it.
Knock him off. Fuck it.
I think you could probably make an attack with disadvantage.
Okay. I will attack. Which ones are the ones that throw the mean things?
So yeah, the guys. Those are the axe throwers, and then the two like bluish hue
So the
ones.
blue ones are the ones that do the poisons.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to attack number 1. Can I see them?
What? You're high up.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
you
I'll
can see
attack
them,
number
yeah.
1. The vial throwing guys.
Okay.
15 and 17.
Both hit.
Wow.
Seven. 25 damages.
As you fly up, you're trying to keep your broom stable, but Reeve is weighing it down. You're not used to flying with that much weight, but you manage to blast both arcs of Eldritch Blast.
I'm an idiot. I didn't roll at disadvantage.
Oh.
It was more.
Okay,
So.
that's fine. And you see him getting ready to pick up a vial, and then he kind of looks up and it's like an anime, and he goes white and he disintegrates as his glass vials explode.
Number 1.
Nicer.
With that, it's Rodek's turn.
Would I know that Ganji's helm thing stabilizes him if he's unconscious in character?
We've talked about it.
I would say, yeah, you guys have talked about it.
I've had it for like the entire campaign.
It's happened on multiple occasions.
So is it more metagame? So I don't want to metagame, so tell me the least metagamey thing. Would it make more sense to me, Ganji will be stable because of his magical item, I'll feed Annulin the potion,
Yes.
or this might be our last way the three of us could possibly heal, and if I heal Annulin, like, we have no way to give one health
Annulin
point.
can heal.
Oh, right.
Hear me out. My opinion.
JK-san.
Would you know, or do we know, that the seemingly miraculous resurrection of our friend is due to a magical item, or the fact that he's like a holy man?
You guys have talked about the magical item.
Yeah,
you
we
know
know.
what it
We-
does.
we
It's
know what
D&D.
we know.
We
It's
know
like
what
D&D.
magical items
Not,
do.
not metagamey to be like, oh, the magic
Yeah.
item's gonna save
I would
her.
like to
And
turn
also-
to Annulin and feed her my health potion.
Also,
as my-
I'm just saying, I got bitten, but Annulin has a giant fucking harpoon in her stomach.
Yeah,
I would say she looks more in danger anyway. You know?
Agreed.
Oh, so you used your health potion?
Hold on. I want to pull. Can I pull the harpoon out and then feed her the health potion?
No, administering a health potion is a full action.
Okay.
It's a
I would
bonus
like
action
to
to drink
use.
yourself.
I would like to use action surge. My
Okay.
first action would be pulling the harpoon
Okay,
out.
make a strength check.
Natural 25.
25. You yank the harpoon out, and as you see blood spurts, and then automatically fails one death save.
Oh,
And then my next action will be feeding Annulin the health potion that I have. So I am out of health potion.
No, you were not. You have
And
one
rolls,
health
or
potion
you roll.
left.
How's that work?
What,
you roll, because your potion.
Okay, I'll roll. Sure.
And you have one health potion left, by
Okay.
the way.
Oh no, I used one already.
When?
A few sessions ago. I marked it down here. You might have not marked it down.
Well, then you didn't tell me.
It's 2d4.
2d4, yes. Plus 4, right?
Max healing. 4, 12 health.
12 health. As you're bleeding, Rodek does the whole like dog medicine trick, and he pours a potion down your throat and like does a little rub, and and sputtering as this red liquid goes down your throat, your wounds heal up a little bit. There's still harpoons sticking out of you, but you come back to consciousness, and everything
I thought you
hurts.
pulled the harpoon out.
Oh no!
I did.
Oh, you did. So the harpoon's gone. Sorry. The harpoon is gone, but your harpoon wound is closed up a little bit. But everything hurts. Everything hurts everywhere.
All the
Everything
things.
hurts, guys.
I would like to then turn and just get in this guy's face. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. You're in his face. He's staring you down.
Right in his face.
Gandy, make a death save. Oh no, he's
Make
stable.
her big.
Unstabilized.
Make her big.
She's
So you're
no,
just
she's on
chilling.
the ground.
Gandy's just
Oh, she's
stable
on
and
the
he's just chilling. Monsters 3. For sure that is the axe throwers.
Yes.
And so we're going to. Can you put anyone up, please? He's going to once again.
She's prone. Remember that she's prone.
He's going to throw 3 axes. And he's going to throw 1 at Reeve, actually.
So he's doing 1 at Reeve and
1 at you and 1 at Vandus. And he's going to miss Reeve miraculously.
Woo.
Don't forget that my AC is 15. You have it marked down as 13.
Oh, okay. That's still going to hit Sylvie. The one that hits Sylvie, that is going to do 4 points of slashing damage. The one is going to hit Rodek, Vanders, and that's going to wildly miss. This one is going to be, he is going to wield it. He's going to stop juggling. 1 drops to the ground as he has 3. He's holding 2 now, and he's just going to come in for 2 melee attacks against, and both are going to hit. And that's going to be 13 points of slashing damage as he hacks into you. And I think that's his turn. Yep. Annulin, you are conscious. On the ground, but conscious.
Okay. And it's half movement to get up?
Yes.
Okay. I am going
Right, it's not full movement?
to...
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to use half my movement to get up. Then I am going to... Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm going to use my action to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Uh-huh.
59.
Is that acceptable?
Yep. That's how it works.
1d8 plus spellcasting ability modifier. What is your spellcasting ability modifier?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah, it'll be whiz. So whatever the plus.
The 1d8 plus 4.
Pickle.
Okay, so I heal for 11.
11, nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I am going to move back 3 spots just so I am out of target area of
Okay.
anybody.
And with that, it's the Alchemist's turn. He looks at Avantris, who's killed their big harpoony friend, and he is going to get, you have an AC of 16. He flings his vial, and it clatters off to the side. And that is his turn. Sylvie.
I am going to attack number 1.
Did we skip Avantris?
Did we skip Avantris?
No. Wait, there's you go. Oh, Avantris, it's your turn. Sorry.
I can't really see the
Rough night.
cardboard, so I'm relying on
You're
you
not.
guys.
You're up. You're up. You're up.
Let me know. I'm going to rush next to Rodek.
Okay.
I'll attack.
Okay. And neither one.
16.
16. That hits.
My rolls have been mediocre all night. That's better. 25.
25 points of damage. Okay, to number, what number is that?
2.
2?
Axe thrower 2.
It's engaged with Rodek. It's been swinging. It managed to find purchase with its axes. You manage to slide up behind Rodek. Doesn't expect you at all. You get Venom Spine right into its side. He hurks and spits up a little blood.
Got him.
Selvig, now it's your turn.
Okay, I'm actually going to do number 2, the Alchemist guy.
Okay. Roll damage.
Okay, so the first one misses.
Okay. Disadvantage, remember.
And the second one's probably going to hit because I rolled a 17 and a 15 plus 8 to each.
That hits.
So I will damage him. And I'm going to transfer my hex to this one because
Okay.
I haven't done that at all. Lord. Sorry, it was 2. 7, 11 damage.
11 damage. You send your one Arc of Eldritch Blast. One veers off, hits the bushes. This one hits him. It singes him a lot, but he's holding on.
That's all.
Rhoda.
I will continue to attack this guy, and I'll attack him, or I guess start to attack him. Oh, that's really good. Got a what am I doing? 8 plus 9 is 17. And
17,
then
hits, yep.
I'm gonna, I'll make it a precision attack.
Okay.
So then 2, 8, 8, 16, 18.
18 damage?
No, 18.
Oh,
so
both.
here. I will roll twice. Double 11s, nice. So 22 plus 32 damage.
Okay. You, as Vandris stabs his rapier and he heaves over in pain, you come in on the other side, cleaving deep into him. He heaves over even further. You take the opportunity to come down, bring it down over his neck. It slices his head clean off, and he is dead.
Nice, sir. Nice, sir.
Nice job.
Your turn's over? You're done?
And I guess I'll turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll walk over.
Okay. Angie, your turn.
Still unconscious. Stable
Okay.
but unconscious.
You're just chilling. Monsters 3, that would be did we say it was the Alchemist? No, the Axe
3
Thrower.
was the axe thrower.
Okay, then we'll do the Alchemist now. And so one is going to, as he sees Rhoda coming for him, he is going to he's going to throw a vial and he's going to miss. And he's going to try to run as he sees all of his friends dying into the city. Towards the sea. Ambulance turn.
Okay. So feeling a little bit better now, I'm going to move into line of sight of the guy over here and
Okay.
make an arrow attack on him.
Okay.
And he is undamaged.
Number 1.
Number 1 is undamaged.
Do you want to attack the guy running away or this guy?
I don't know.
I'm going to make my first... The other guy's not important. I'm going to let him go, but I am going to kill this guy. I'm going to try to.
Number 1.
Actually, I'll make both my attacks on him. 24
Hits.
and 19.
Hits.
Okay. First is 14. Second is 18.
18, okay. both arrows fire from your bow. They sink in as he's getting ready, as he's pulling more axes out of his bags, and he heaves over. He's pretty bloody. Monsters 2, that's axe throwers, and so with that he's going to fling one at Sylvie and then 2 at Anulin. He's going to completely miss Sylvie, 2 at Anulin, and critically fail and miss. So he's bloodied, so he's just flinging axes all over the place, and totally useless. With that is Vanish's turn. You're muted.
Sorry, I know, I heard it. I heard it. I need to I don't think there's a push to talk on Skype, which is killing me.
There is.
We'll
Okay,
figure that out.
well,
There is.
I'm just an idiot. Okay, who's alive? Who's engaged? Is there only one dude left? Wait, there's a guy running off into the city, I see. And
Yeah.
neither of them are engaged is the problem.
You
Screw
just-
it. Bonus action, chase the guy running into the city. You're gonna stab him right in the face.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Barely makes it.
Yeah, you
As
know,
always.
fast as hell. Woo. Okay, gonna attack the dude. Hey yo, 21.
21, that hits.
And now my terrible, terrible, pitiful, sad damage. 11.
11. As you run up, he looks behind you like, and you reach it. He's trying to pull a vial out of his, off of his coat, and you just smack it out of his hand and get him in the back. He falls to the ground dead.
Got him.
Yeah.
And now it's Shelby's turn.
Shelby is going to attempt to attack number 1.
Number 1.
14 and a 19 for my
Okay.
first roll. And the second one's going, well, it would be 12 for the second roll. I'm imagining a 12 doesn't hit.
It does not.
Okay, so the first one, I think, hit.
Does.
You're just the worst at this, you know that?
Damn it.
Whoa.
You're the worst.
Slow down. One, he managed to dodge one, but the other one's like, and it kind of gets a few scales. It definitely does some damage, but not as much as you were hoping. Rhoda.
Sad pan.
All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna run up, and I don't think I have anything else to do. You know what? I'm gonna second wind, and I will heal myself, and I'm done.
Michael, he has the periactive wound closure. Ganji does, which stabilizes him as soon as he goes unconscious.
Yeah, it's,
So
it's
he-
a magic item.
It's a magic item, so he doesn't have
It's a
to.
necklace.
It's at the
Or
start
necklace.
of my next turn. I stabilize.
Yeah, it's a necklace.
So if he gets hit, he still has to make death saves. Just if he's laying on the ground, he stabilizes.
Yeah, I get free new death saves every turn basically, but doesn't help me get not unconscious.
With that, whose turn was that? Rodek?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm done.
So now it's Janji's.
Ganji.
Still unconscious.
Okay. So he's gonna go again, and he is going to, as he sees everyone dead but him, he's gonna turn towards Vandris and Rhoda and just fire a bunch of axes at them. He looks like, and he's going to miss. Oh my God! Don't get these dice, guys. Okay, and he misses all 3 of them, and he's just totally useless.
Like I said, 20
It's because he's scared.
Anulin.
Alright. I'll make. Yeah. Wait, is the guy by Vandris? He's dead, right?
This guy is. Did Vandris
He's
go?
dead.
He's dead.
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
I missed that.
He did.
He did. So just that guy left.
Okay. I'm going to make an arrow attack on
I
him,
just try to stare at him.
and he's the last one up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the last one.
He is.
Okay. 25.
25. That hits. Full damage.
17.
17. And just barely, he's got that wild look in his eyes. You fire your arrows, and it goes in, and the light goes out of his eyes. He drops his axes, and he falls down dead, and all of the crooks have been slain.
Okay. So after I fire my arrow, I want to run to Ganji and give him a health potion.
I'm gonna run over and just look at him helplessly.
I'm going to get my notebook out, and I'm going to mark down that Annulin is using one of her health potions.
Okay.
Do you have noted? Do I have one or two?
You have 2. Now you have 1. The only person with 2 now is Ganji.
Right, which I can distribute if necessary.
And how's health potion work? Do I roll for that, or does he roll?
You roll.
It's your potion since you're feeding it to him. If you gave it to him and he drank it, he would roll, but you roll since you're giving it to him.
Okay, what is it again?
2d4 plus 2, I think.
Ooh, d4. Hold on. Sorry. A 6.
Good job.
Just real quick, while you guys are doing health stuff, I figured to do it now before we lose everybody towards the end of the stream and we're all bouncing out. We're actually all going to be at Katsukan.
Yep.
So if you are in the greater Metro DC area, or you're traveling to go to Katsukan because you're a huge nerd like us, we're actually all going to be there. And our beloved DM is going to be hosting a panel about dungeon mastering.
I am.
So if you happen to be there at Katsukan, please come visit us, come say hi, come to the panel. It'll be a really, really good time. And we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, it's called Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies, running your first D&D session. So if you want to, even if you're a player, it's mostly for DMs and people who want to get into D&D. It's fun, but obviously you guys are from all over the country, all over the world. But if you are coming to Katsukan, we'll be there. I'll be giving a panel. We'll be giving a panel. And so
Nikki, who DMs our other campaign, will also be giving DM tips.
Yeah, DM tips.
And the players will probably be there, at least most of us. So come say hi.
I'll be in the audience wooing at an inappropriate time.
Yep.
I'll cause trouble of some sort, and then try to hold my tongue once Nikki slaps me.
All times are appropriate times for wooing. There's no such inappropriate time.
And the con is Katsukan. Yeah.
Yes, Katsukan in National Harbor, mid-February.
Yeah, it's like February 16th or 17th. I forget the exact date. It's that weekend.
Yep. It's President's Day weekend?
Yep.
It's like the weekend. It's the week of Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day weekend. It's after Valentine's Day.
Okay. So, okay.
So I'm conscious.
You're conscious.
Well, that's a familiar feeling.
I want to use my dagger to cut the ropes on Reeve's hands.
Okay. You go in with your. Just make a straight dex check across the board.
23.
23. You effortlessly.
I'm sorry. Natural 20 pickle Rick. 23.
You effortlessly slice through the ropes. You manage to get him unbound. Are you gonna ungag him or?
Yeah, I would like to do that as well.
As you undo it, he's kind of sputtering. Well, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
It seems to be going around today.
Are you down with us?
We're technically still flying, but yeah, I'll take him down and kind of kick him off.
So he's like kind of wobbling, trying to look. Could you please land, please?
Yeah, get off.
Are we down on the ground?
Yeah.
Well, and it's like a 1 foot. Could you get down a little lower, please?
Just get off.
Okay. And then he hobbles off. He stumbles.
I try to grab him.
And he kind of stumbles into your hands. Like, oh, thank you.
All right, lad. You're all right. We got you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my, I thought I was a goner there. All my guards got killed, and it was just a horrible sight. Just horrible.
So what happened, and where are the rest of the serpents?
And he kind of realizes like the shock of the situation is kind of, he seems stunned. He's kind of almost cell-shocked. And then he thinks a moment, and you can tell that, oh well, they had Vito over at Blood Anchor. I know that he was trying to leave and they wouldn't let him. And I think that Amalia said that she was going to go to his place. So I think that she might be over there now. I don't know where anyone else is.
So she's probably dead in fire.
So by his place, you mean the building that's on fire?
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, you stay. You should probably come with us. Let's go. We don't have time. Let's go.
I have to put him back on my broom?
So, probably. Here we go. And so I turn and I start running towards the Egg of Eternity.
Okay.
I'll follow Rodek.
Without a word.
I'm gonna use my mage hand to kind of help me keep him stable on the broom, and I'm just gonna fly with them with Reeve.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink another health potion as we go. Because fuck this.
So
you
now,
chug a health pot. You're all bloody and bruised.
So the only two people that have health potions now, Avantris and Annulin and Ganji both have one. Rodek and I are tapped out.
Because we each only ever had 2, right?
Yes.
Max, yeah. So I'm definitely out.
And just because I'm a child, I put your initials, so it now says Vag.
Delightful.
For what?
I'm a child. I'm Vandris, Annulin, Ganji.
Oh, good old Vag.
Vag.
Yeah, so you definitely lost me there for a second.
That's my OTP, Vag.
The Vag love
Such a
triangle.
child.
Yeah. And so with that, you make your way. Oh, I guess we should. I hope. Are we in danger? And are there still more? Pirates?
There are.
You better believe it, kiddo.
Are you close enough to talk?
Yeah,
or are you
I'm flying
above?
directly with you guys.
Okay.
I'm not flying high because I don't
Yeah.
want to gain attention
Yeah.
from anybody who would be up higher.
Yeah.
Just to keep it with us.
Okay. I need to make. Okay, fine. He stayed on the broom with the mage hand.
You better tie him up again. Honestly.
He wasn't tied up.
You guys are going.
No, he's probably got his arms around me.
Okay.
So you are running through Noble Garden, this noble district where you have been staying for the past, 2 weeks or however long you've been in the city. There is the smell of the sea air that you're so used to has been replaced by smoke, and you smell blood, you smell the fire, the char as things are burning. It seems as if you notice that there weren't any of the heaving fiery boulders as you were fighting that, but you still heard the loud collide off in the distance. Overhead, you see giant vultures still flying both into the city and also out, mounted and unmounted with these crocodile pirates. And you're making your way. You see across out onto the sea. You see that there's more and more of the Sea Eagle ships that have deployed. They are engaging in this fleet of pirate ships. You see kind of you look down and you're able to see these strange, it's pretty difficult, but you're able to see strange kind of almost like crossbow ballista contraptions built onto the decks of these ships that seem to be
The
loading
Sea Eagle
these.
ships?
No, on the pirate ships, loading these huge metal balls that are being lit and flown and shot into the city. However, you see the Sea Eagle ships. These are gleamingly, seem to be very expensive, very well made, heavily armored. Tons of those, what do you call those boarding bridges or whatever that they got for the side by side. I should have done more nautical research before we had the session. And
I think that's called a gangplank, isn't it?
is that what?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, actually, it might be.
I think
I
it
think
is.
it is.
Well,
Yeah.
gangplanks. So they got gangplanks, and so you see boarding. You see the heavily armored Sea Eagles, less armored on these ships because they're obviously at sea, and if they fall over, they don't want to drown. So they're lightly armored, but they still have the certain breastplates here and there. They're drawing towards they're engaged in combat. It's very hard to see, but you're able to see the glint of metal down off on the sea through the fog. The fog has dissipated quite a bit at this point now, and the sun is shining through. It's definitely approaching sunset at this point. It's been a long time running through the city and fighting, and you're starting to see groups of Sea Eagles coming back in from the main city, starting to engage. You start to see the occasional group of pirates running at you, and then they're engaged by a group of these Sea Eagles, and they're fighting, allowing you to run towards the Egg of Eternity.
How far is it to Blood Anchor from the Egg of Eternity?
So if you remember that there's here, can we get a map of Goldhaven? Where is it?
I know they're very close. I just didn't know roughly how fast we could
I
sprint
think
there.
it's up there.
So there is a very, very, very long bridge that is built across, goes all the way to Blood Anchor, and it would be a while for you just to run across. So it is a very long walk for you to get there.
As we're approaching the Egg of Eternity, I want to shout to Rodek, who's kind of leading the charge. and just say, Rodek, I know our goal is the Egg of Eternity. We need to protect the artifacts, but I'm also not opposed to potentially catching one of these Sea Eagle ships out into the battle and maybe finding Orpheus.
Well, first, we have no idea if Orpheus is out there or in there, right?
Correct.
So I would think that we know that we at least have information that Amalia is in this building, and is one of the Sea Eagles, is probably one of our best connections to all of this, and to the city. So, given that it's right here, I think we at least go in, we make sure Orpheus isn't there, make sure Amalia's alright, and then we can go straight out. I'm totally with you.
Yes, I totally agree. I think then we head to Blood on Care after this.
Alright, I'm with you. So we keep
So,
going.
you are sprinting, giving it all you are heavily wounded. These pirates have taken a lot out of you guys, but you are doing your best to sprint. You know what's at stake here. As you turn the corner, it's a very long shot, and you see at the base, at the entrance of the Egg of Eternity, probably hundreds and hundreds of feet out, you see a figure. This figure is crocodilian. He is even larger than any of the ones that you had faced. He is enormous, hulking, bulging, and it looks as if it's kind of hard to tell, but this doesn't seem to be magic. He just seems to be a naturally enormous gator, but rather than kind of muscly, he almost looks a little rotund. And he is coated. He's wearing incredibly fine captain's leathers. And on top of his head is an almost absurdly elegant pirate's hat. Does
he have one bulging eye?
It's too far away. In one hand, you can see, it's far away, but you're able to see a incredibly long sword that seems to be shaped like a cutlass, but so enormous it would be wielded by two hands by any normal person. It seems to be covered, has a gem inlay and the effects decorations of a skull, and this enormous sword. And in his other hand seems to be a elongated, strange contraption. It looks like a crossbow, but there isn't. It's not really fit to fire bows, and it's made of metal and fans out on the edge. It seems to be kind of made covered in strange markings, and you think back and you remember that you may have seen something like that in Vito's office. When you
oh boy!
In front of him, kneeling as you're running, you see what seems to be a female figure.
Oh, jeez.
No!
It seems to be a female figure. She is kneeling in front of him. You're probably at this point 250 feet away. And as maybe 300 feet away, and you're running, and so this is all, it's very far away, you're able to see this, and it's a very wide open area. And she's leaning, you can see that whatever was of her face is covered in blood. And there's a clattered sword at her side, and with a low guttural roar,
I would like to use 2 of my spell slots, the only 2 that I have left, to cast Dimension Door over there, grab her, and Dimension Door immediately back.
What's the range of Dimension Door?
500 feet.
Okay! Okay. So.
Thank God. Old person is only 60 feet. I couldn't get there in time.
As you guys are running, you kind of get a better look. And as the crocodile seems to be a captain, he kind of looks at his contraption, and he raises, and he kind of is trying to, he thinks he's figuring out how to use it, and he points it at this woman's face, and he cocks back of it, and you hear kind of this magical whoosh, and the woman kneeling, as you get closer, you recognize that to be the broken form of Amalia Theramore. Her face is smeared with blood, her armor is cast aside, her one arm is completely mutilated. and you hear kind of as you get closer and Sylvie immediately a door opens up almost in front of her as she's sprinting. She zips in.
Well, she's flying.
I'm
remember?
flying.
You're flying.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
You're flying.
Even better.
So she opens the door as she's flying in
Can I-
midair. What?
Do I notice that? Also, are you taking?
No,
everybody
I'm gonna jump in. So I'm leaving Reeve on this
On the
broom
broom.
by himself.
Okay. If
Okay.
I notice that, I want to try to like, at least grab the broom or like steady it or grab
You
it.
make a straight dex check, and then
11.
so Sylvie is flying at full speed with her broom.
Not full speed. I would
Or
be
yeah,
flying.
flying
it would
along
be
with them.
flying
Flying
like
with them. It's dramatic. Come on.
Sorry.
And you're flying with your broom. You channel your fey magic, and you hope this works. And your arm flashes, and a gate opens, and without hesitating a minute, you leap off, push off the broom, fly through. A gate opens. You can see a gate opens as you then kind of the stench hits your nostrils immediately, and you look. You have a chance to look up as you put your arm around Amalia. She has no idea what's going on. It almost looks like she's not even able to comprehend what's going on. And you see this crocodile captain. He has one normal eye, and there seems to be a eye patch over one, a huge eye patch over one. And as soon as he squeezes the trigger, there's a look of surprise in his eyes, and you heave and grab yourself back through the door. You hear a loud pow as this blue tuft of magic explodes. Sylvie and Amalia in tow come
Beautiful.
tumbling,
Nice save, Nikki.
come tumbling.
Baller.
Thank God you didn't use any spells.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Thank God we took that short rest after I
Yeah.
used Hex.
Right.
Come tumbling back. Reeve, what did you roll for your dex?
11.
11. So he's like, how do you drive this thing? And so how do you fly this crazy thing? And so he's flying off. He crashes into the ground immediately. And he roughs himself up. He is not dead. He flies to the
As long as
ground.
he's not dead.
Scrapes up.
I'm gonna use like all of my speed, kind of leaving her there to run over, grab the broom from him, and it's important to me. Imagining that Rodak is going to take, because I don't know Amalia, I just know of her. So
Meanwhile,
I'm just gonna kind of leave her.
I'm
there.
going to cast Mass Healing Word, and everyone, including Amalia, gets healed.
Okay.
But not Reeve, because fuck her.
Fuck for you.
So if it's not gonna hit Reeve, I won't get healed either, because I ran over to where he was.
The range is...
He just gets to
Thanks for
choose.
tuning in.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
get to
Mr.
choose
Thank
6
you,
people.
awesome, man. Hope you enjoyed. What's that? I'm looking at Facebook chat. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's 4 HP for everyone.
So what's the max?
4 HP. Okay.
Hot
Max is
diggity
only
dog.
7,
Okay.
because it's an AoE.
Because I would get 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get 7.
Oh, nice.
Because of El Lumio.
Oh, Lumi.
And as soon as that happens, Gandhi immediately goes in for the heal. You feel the blessings of Bahamut be bestowed upon you. Your wound, all of your wounds start to heal. You're still incredibly weak. With that, as soon as the loud gun, you see the crocodile look around, and he is like, and then he turns, and he's able to see you from a ways away, and his one eye narrows, his one good eye narrows, and he kind of points at you and clicks again, and he's like, no, and then he says like, you stole my prey, and then you hear a familiar voice ring out. Didn't I tell you not to play with your food, King? And behind him, a giant vulture flies up from behind the cliff, and you see, finally, after all of this time, after all of these months, hanging on, standing up with the beating wings of the vulture, his black hair billowing in the wind along with his elegant cloak, his pristinely polished horns. His pristinely polished horns are glinting in the wind. Yes, it is Orpheus Rhadamanthus.
Orpheus!
Afternoon, do-gooders! Sorry you're late to the party, but as they say, if you're going to steal a priceless artifact, you need a priceless diversion. He holds up in his hand a gleaming helmet. This is a helmet you've seen before. This is a helmet you've seen before. Vito showed it to you in his private collection, but there were 4 slots missing. So he thought that
basically the Infinity Gauntlet.
He thought that it hadn't done anything. However, this time you see in Orpheus' hand that there are 4 blue gems placed in each of these things, where 4 eyes might be, as if it's supposed to be worn by some strange creature.
How high up in the air is he?
He's behind, so if you get the idea, King Krem is at the base. Oh, well, his name's King Krem.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry.
The
pirate king is at the entrance of Vito's mansion, which is right on the cliff, and then he is basically flying out probably a good several hundred feet beyond that, and flying, and these gems in this helmet also look vaguely familiar. If you remember the bas relief that Professor Triton Azran had 4 inlaid gems, and that was the one thing that Orpheus had stolen. And these are the similar looking style of gems in these, but these are no longer inert, they're glowing. And
alright, wait. Where is Sylvie? Is she close by?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what our setup is here currently.
so I would say that you guys are all clustered together with the 6 of you with Amalia, and then Reeve is kind of off to the side.
I turn to Sylvie and I say, what are the chances you can get me to Orpheus?
I can try. We'll probably die.
As you're talking to Sylvie, you hear a loud and it sounds like 2 coming in unison, and you hear a loud it happens. Good timing. It requires good timing. It sounds like 2 deeply guttural squawks that sounded like similar to the giant vultures that you had heard, but almost infinitely louder and echoing and coming from beneath the cliffs. You hear the thunderous beat of enormous wings. And as that happens, say, sorry friends, I don't have time to stay and chat, but my friend here needs to use this helmet real quick. And he chucks it behind him, and it falls beneath the cliff, and another giant vulture arises with another familiar face, and it's Deidre Tidehunter on her own giant vulture. And as she takes the helmet and puts it on, as soon as that happens, an enormous form rises up from the cliff beyond. This is a giant vulture, but it's about the size. Remember that rock that you almost died to, Andy?
Never forget.
Avantris, rather. It's about that large. 2 enormous heads are coming off the front of its neck. It has 2 long necks, 2 long, hideous, monstrous vulture heads. Their beaks seem to be crackling with electricity, and King Krem looks at you and says, "Oh, I've got new prey." And Orby says, "No time for that, King. That time will come. We have to get back to the island." And his vulture turns around. He's flying away. The enormous vulture starts batting its wings at you in an enormous gust. I want everyone to make a strength saving throw.
It's saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good lord.
9.
12.
6.
7.
14.
Ugh.
You feel. Hold on. You feel an incredibly strong gust after gust of wind. You all lose your footing as you start tumbling backwards, far and away, as this enormous vulture creature is beating its wings, sending gust after gust after gust. And you're being knocked back, and as you're trying to see as both Orpheus's and Deodra's vultures fly away, you see Deodra attach the helmet and leap off and jump off of a cliff. Jump off into the sea. With that, you get knocked back, and by the time you manage to get, so you're pushed back probably about 150 feet from the gust of this enormous two-headed vulture. And as soon as you kind of come to your tumbling, you see this enormously fat crocodile creature mount on the back of this vulture. And he says, "Time later. Oh, I can live with that." And he guides his two-headed vulture that walks a little bit and just almost hobbles off its enormous weight, and its huge wings start heading west off into the sea.
We failed.
Is there anybody else around us?
So you start to see around. There are some seagulls running around. They're all fighting with pirates. You see a few coming in, and you start to see off on the huge bridge that goes to the Blood Anchor. You start to see guards kind of shouting and pointing, and then you see them kind of starting to turn. You hear kind of, and you see ballistas being turned, mounted on these walls and on top of the keeps, and they're firing at all of the vultures that are flying off, and they all seem to miss.
So I get up. Ugh. Is everyone all right?
Are we?
I shake my fist at the sky and scream Orpheus's name in frustration.
Did we take any damage? Did we take damage?
No. You just got knocked back. If you failed lower, you probably would take damage, but you all passed high enough.
Okay.
And so Amalia's kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and check Amalia.
Make a medicine check.
You look after her. And I'm just kind of sitting there, just looking around, kind of bewildered.
9.
9. You get a read on her. Her eyes are kind of going back and forth. Her arm is totally mangled, and his arm is totally mangled. Her arm is totally mangled. She looks as if there are bits of claws in her. There are saber marks across her shattered armor. It looks like whatever had done this to her had been intentionally trying to maim and torture and wound. Incredibly vicious. It wasn't just being brought down in a fight. Her face is completely smeared.
I want
with
to
blood.
use presidigitation to clean her out.
Okay.
So that we can
blood,
get a better view of her.
The blood.
actual wound.
She has marks all over her face. Her right eye seems to be completely gone. At least as far as you can tell. At least it's a mangled mess. There are slashes all over her, and she is coughing. And he says, "I'm not dead."
Can I use one of the the wand of magic detection to make sure there isn't any kind of magical aura around her?
Yeah, you can make the wand detection.
But so does she seem like she's in any immediate danger of death?
She does not seem to be in any major. Anything that she was, you had stopped with your healing.
Okay.
You wave your wand. It's just a normal broken mercenary captain that almost just died. There might be kind of wisps of the smoke of the gunpowder, the magical artificer power. And she says, "We have to stop them. They came They came from the cliffs. They came from below.
I think they're already leaving.
And, but the blue one. She's going to do something worse.
Blue one?
The woman. Deidre, the sea cult. And as soon as she says that, you hear whoosh, and you look towards where Deidre had jumped off of the cliff. There's an enormous blue beam going up high into the sky, radiating, pulsing with energy. And you hear almost like this quiet come over Goldhaven. As almost everyone in the city had heard it and stopped to be like, what
I
the...
stand up and grab my axe, knowing it's not going to do anything.
You stand up and grab your axe.
I'm like...
And although...
wielding.
And so have you guys like run to the bridge, or are you kind of staying kind of far away from the cliffs? Like how is this working?
Yeah,
we haven't really moved after we got blown.
Yeah, I'm assuming I was thinking we would like get away from the water. I don't know.
So I'm gonna.
I don't know that we could because we were looking after.
I'm gonna run up to the cliff and look down to try to see like what the hell's going on.
So
we were already far from the water and we got blown.
Yeah.
Right.
So you run up and you see the blue beam emerging out of the water, and then it's quiet comes the city, and then you hear a splashing, waves crashing, coming out from around this enormous blue beam, almost shooting out of the sea. And then Rhoda, you see the waves break, and you see a beaked, scaled face erupt out of the water and let out this enormous, piercing roar as a creature erupts out of the sea and plunges back down. It has a huge beaked face, green, leathery skin, and an enormous hard shell. The face looks almost like a draconic turtle. And as soon as that roar echoes through the city, you see the sea eagles look down, and they're like, "Oh God, no!" And they're all turning their ballistas towards that. And then you hear from all over the city. And you then start to hear vultures squawking as they fly back out to the sea. You see these crooks that are running around, all around, leaving Noble Garden, trying to escape. The seagulls start to get the upper hand. They're being cut down as they're escaping. They are all trying to flee the city. And you see some with bags of gold. You see some far off that are like dragging prisoners that'll then get cut down. And as you make your way kind of across the bridge, you see a smoking, you hear a loud crumbling, and you look into the side of the cliff, and there's this smoking, charred ruin, and you can kind of see falling into the sea are armor and relics and treasures. It seems as if they had blown in through the side of the cliff with those enormous boulders, you could probably guess. And
on Indivito's...
On Indivito's
it's the
stock.
treasures from the Egg of Eternity falling into the sea.
From his private...
From his private stock. So you kind of see the room
yeah.
that you had seen before. From his private stock.
I just kind of like look around and just shake my head. And like, what's it doing? What's the big dragony thing doing?
It plunged undersea, and then you hear a loud, magically amplified voice. It says, "Okay, now, say the words now, like we promised." And then you hear the loud beating voice. "Now you'll remember that Goldhaven was beat by King Krem the Cruel." And blinks out, and then you hear a and you see a sea eagle ship erupt into splinters as the dragon turtle begins tearing into their fleet.
Guess I'll just die.
So I run back to the group and I say, They've summoned. What can they see now? They've seen it?
So it's far enough out that everyone will be able to see, and basically the dragon turtle is going through destroying these ships that are engaged, and you can start to see as the fog is starting to clear now, and then you kind of hear kind of voices of the lockjaw crooks running around and he's like, oh no, he said to get out before sundown. We gotta get out of here before the sun sets. Go! And so
the Dracula's gonna
and
come
so
out
they're
of
all scrambling. Oh, that was the signal. We gotta go. And so everyone's desperately trying to leave.
The Dracula's gonna protect the town once night falls.
And so.
So, Avantris, do you have any other hometowns? This one might be a lost cause.
We're clearly outmatched.
I sink to my knees and all is lost. There's nothing we can do.
I do. And I look around and I look at Amalia and I say, does it look like she's comprehending what's happening?
Yeah, you see as time goes on, the healing and the medicine check and the prestidigitation that Sylvie did is all kind of helping her kind of come to her surroundings.
So I look to her and I say, is there anything we can do?
And so as she's hearing she's hearing like the sound of screams. And she's hearing the sound of the ships, her fleet being destroyed by the dragon turtle that's going around, and these ships that are leaving. And as the mist clears, the fog basically completely dissipates now. The sun is setting. It's almost below the horizon. You see out at the front an enormous ship with tattered, like semi-tattered sails. This black ship.
The Black Pearl.
And it has a huge Jolly Roger, it looks like, but the skull is an enormous crocodile's skull. And it seems to be, you can kind of see vultures flying and landing. And as they sail off, you see the several more seagull ships that were in the harbor engage with these pirate ships, get completely obliterated, and start sinking into the bay. And then the sea settles. And there's a quiet. And as they sail away. And then Amalia gets up. And she's holding her arm. She's looking out of her left eye. And she looks over and she says, my fleet is gone.
That was the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. We have some docked, I suppose. We weren't equipped for dragon turtles. Why didn't it could have obliterated our entire fleet. Why didn't it?
Well, because they're afraid of the Dracula that lords over this town, so they wanted to get out before the Dracula arrives.
That's a fair point, Sylvie.
No, it's probably true.
Good suggestion. We don't know that it's gone, so what can we do right now in case this thing attacks the city? What can we do? Are there weapons? Do we have magic? Should we inform the serpents? Or the Dracula? Speaking of that, where's Alphonse?
Alphonse.
He's a vampire, right?
He'd be what's I don't know what's he know. He'd be in his keep. I ensured that all of the serpents were heavily guarded and taken care of.
Is that why Reeve is almost dead?
What? And she turns and says, what?
Yeah, I saved his life. You're welcome. I saved yours too. You're welcome twice.
I thank you. And then you start to see, go run, tell them that Theramol still lives. Tell them that we need all troops.
Are you trying to tell Reeve to leave?
No, I'm telling you, Reeve, you stay here where it's safe.
Well, you're almost dead. We're not almost dead. I'm not sure you are safe.
Well,
okay, who would you like one of us to go tell someone?
One of you, go find someone in charge at Blood Anchor. Tell them that Theramol lives. I failed to protect the egg of the
I'll go.
Okay. Tell them all hands on deck. Prepare to man the rest of the fleet we have.
Avantris, instead of going, do you want me to amplify your voice with my minor illusion and you can just yell it to the entire town? I'm not sure right now is a good time to be splitting up.
Well, that was my question earlier about how long it would take to get to Blood Anchor. I don't know how far the amplification would go.
How far is that amplification?
I mean, I can make it as loud as I want, I think. I'm looking. Oh, I've got my cards. It's a cantrip. I can't do anything more than just make it loud.
A loud scream, I believe, is as loud as it gets. It's from a whisper.
I'm thinking they wouldn't be able to hear it. It would just be faster for me to sprint there and sprint back.
It's from a whisper to a loud scream.
Yeah.
I
it
mean,
wouldn't be loud enough. I don't have my spell. I don't have spell slots to do major illusion.
I'm just gonna deliver the message, and I will be right back.
Okay.
We will keep them safe and keep an eye for any massive turtle dragon things.
I'm quick. I'll be fast.
All right.
So
stay safe.
Vanders, you are sprinting.
Can you send Lumi
sprinting across the bridge? You see sea eagles as you're leaving. The rest of the party sees is that there are heavily bloodied sea eagles, kind of coming in, but there seems to be a sense of confusion of what to do. And Vanders is sprinting, and as you're going off, Vanders, make a perception check.
I'm also sending Lumi with him,
okay.
so I don't know if she needs to make one as well.
Make a perception check too.
Good. I got a 15 with my perception, which is pretty high, is a 23. 22.
Lumi?
Hers would be 9.
9. So, Vanders, you go out and you're able to see there's smoke billowing up. The smell of burning ship wreckage as torches and lanterns have been knocked over onto these ships. The smell of smoke is starting to permeate your nostrils, and you look over and you see kind of from behind the wreckage of one of the ships, you see ripples in the water of like a wake. But from the top of the surface, it's just an enormous looking turtle shell as it seems to swim off to sea. And just for the sake of brevity, you manage to run in. You're asking around for everyone. You find the commanding officer that had led you to Amalia the night previous.
Shit!
A lot's happened. A night previous, and then he's so relieved to hear that Amalia's alive, and you hear a loud series of bells go across the city. It seems to be in a different pattern. All of a sudden, you hear the party hears the thunderous marching, quick marching of seagulls that have come. More and more keep streaming in. And although it had seemed dire, there are tons and tons of sea eagles returning. Basically, an army has returned, and they are all coming down to the coming up through Noble Garden, marching back to Blood Anchor. And you see some of them are holding like bits and pieces of these pirates that they've killed, loot that you seem to have been pilfered that they've then rescued. And then you manage to run back, and they tell you to stay with Molly and make sure he's okay, and just like and relay anything, and that he would come with you, but he needs to basically take charge for the moment.
I want to run up to one of the seagulls as they're marching back, and just go to the pirates. Have you cleared the city?
One of them stops and is like, well, from what we can see, yes, they once we got our numbers, they didn't stand much of a chance, but we lost a great deal of our number.
No doubt. Well, please.
There's much civilian damage. We cannot account for loss of life. Our orders are to return to Blood Anchor as quickly as possible.
Follow your orders.
And he nods and he runs out, and you see kind of there's a weariness and a sad look to them, but they seem to be healthy. From the ones that you see a couple wounded in the back, kind of limping along.
So meanwhile, while all this is happening, I'm just going to be like basically going into battle medic mode of tending to Amalia and whoever else is injured that seems to need medical attention.
And,
not spells or anything, just like.
And during this time, would it seem feasible if we're just waiting for Vanders to get back that Sylvie could be kind of just resting up to the side?
Yeah. Easy.
Using prestidigitation to clean up her broom and twigs and stuff.
Yeah. So you
Would
get a
it
short rest.
short rest?
You
Yeah.
get a short rest, definitely. Several short rests if you want to.
Me too.
Yeah, everyone take a short
I'm
rest.
gonna- What am I doing? I don't need to even look.
Let me actually grab a drink. I'll be right back.
You guys have hit dice left?
Yes, I did.
Double healing.
So
on hit dice
the-
is amazing for conserving them.
Oh no.
Oh, is that a cleric thing or a?
Even-
It's a
I do
carry
have
out
to
the
roll.
conclusion.
Nice. That's amazing. Wow.
So yeah, I'm back to full, and I only used 3 hit dice.
Nice. I guess I'm only at
Okay.
60.
Okay.
So I have plenty.
That worked. So I'm out of hit dice.
TCMC or TCM Chase just notified us that we now have 50 followers on Twitch.
50 followers.
Good job,
Thanks,
guys.
TCM Chase.
Thanks,
For all
everybody.
our new followers.
That's
Welcome.
awesome.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah. Woo.
Thanks for tuning
Woo.
in. Hope you're enjoying it.
That's a fun milestone. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
That's a
Yeah.
fun milestone.
That's great, guys.
That's awesome possum.
So
That is
we'll
awesome.
wait for
Awesome.
Advantage to get back. Maybe we just want to
Yeah.
take like a,
Oh yeah, after urinate.
Why don't we
Yeah.
take? We're gonna take a quick, several minute kind of restroom and coffee break, maybe after that intensity.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so we
I'm
can
gonna-
talk-
Keep,
we
yeah,
can talk to
keep
you guys.
talking. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Yeah, we're gonna grab a drink. We're gonna grab some coffee. Eric, redheaded beauty. I guess. Does anyone here have red hair?
Oh, Nikki has pink hair.
Nikki has pink hair. Annulin, you look like you have reddish hair. Eric says hello to the ladies. Eric, thanks for tuning in if you're still here.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, baby.
Sorry, I'm here.
That's fine. We're just taking a quick bathroom break and a coffee break a little bit. So,
Oh. I would have waited 30 seconds if I had known.
For a
yeah.
coffee break?
Restroom, but either
And
way.
we hit 50 followers, Andy, by the way. So,
Hey!
Yeah. big milestone. Thanks so much, guys.
Wait, on Facebook or Twitch?
Twitch, we have like 400 followers on
Hey!
Facebook.
Shout
Yay.
out to Twitch chat, my
Twitch,
favorite.
we love you guys. We love you guys. You'll love
Yes,
the
I'm
Facebook
playing
show.
favorites. Yes, if you want to talk to the great Vandini, feel free to join us in Twitch chat. I'm unable to monitor both Facebook and Twitch chat, so hanging on Twitch with the guys and gals, feel free to stop on by.
Eric was talking about Nikki, by the way, so let her know.
Yeah, Eric says hi.
Hi, Eric.
So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Ugh.
I feel like we failed miserably. I feel like we let down the whole city. My hometown burned to the ground.
I feel like we were trying to take way too much responsibility on our own shoulders. I feel like there was very little we could actually do there. We were not in, like, maybe if we had just tried to stealth by everyone instead of fighting everyone, maybe. But I don't think that was in much of any of our characters to do so. And
So, again, agreed. As far as my character is concerned, the only thing I care about is Orpheus. And he's escaped yet again.
well, he's a recurring villain. We're not gonna get him that easy.
But it's been 2.5 years! That mofo needs to go down, man.
I mean, Reeve and
We had-
Amalia are alive.
The last time we actually
Yeah.
fought, though, we had an epic fight with him.
I think we did pretty much the best we could. I think
I want to fight more things.
that was as much of a success as we could.
I want to
expect.
steal.
I want to steal.
Fred can do whatever he wants.
I want to steal.
He's a talking horse.
Yay!
So,
I'm so glad people like my Bulbasaur hat.
Oh.
Now
Did they
Richie
not?
can stop yelling at me for making this purchase.
Oh my god.
What other ones did they have?
I don't. This is the only one that I saw, but it's the one that I wanted. I think they might have had a Sylveon, but I didn't. I wanted
I need
Bulbasaur.
an Umbreon.
Oh, I think they have.
I don't
those.
think they had that
Oh,
one.
of course not.
Yeah, it's basically just your go-tos.
Of
This was
course.
just at the con that it was Anime USA,
Oh, okay. I'll have to.
and I
I'll
haven't
have to
checked
keep
the
an eye
other
out.
cons, so I don't know.
I'm not even sure I went to the dealers at Anime USA.
I went there for a second, and that's when the alarm got pulled. And then
Oh,
they
yeah.
never
Oh,
went
yeah.
back.
It's always
Wait,
weeds, man.
the alarm was pulled at AUSA?
Yeah.
Hashtag
Was
weeds.
it as cold as when the Fire Nation attacked?
No,
Not
because,
as
because they didn't actually kick anybody out, and it was
Oh,
because
good.
the ceiling collapsed. They had a water leak. And
I
so-
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
Classy
that.
hotel. Classy hotel.
The
That's
There was
Warden's
video
Park.
of an active waterfall
Yep.
inside the building where a waterfall shouldn't be.
And it's Eric Mesner. Eric, I miss you if you're on Twitch. I love
By the
you.
way,
I used to work with Eric.
Is
So
this who I'm supposed to be thinking of when I hear Amalia? Because that's who I think of.
If you do you, man. Yeah, if
What?
you want to.
What is
This
it?
is my headcanon for Amalia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
I
definitely.
mean, yeah, it's however you
Show
imagine.
us.
That's the power of
Look
imagination.
at the battle camp.
What?
It's
Lynn
Wait, what? Is she human?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the 7 serpents are human.
Yeah. Lynn Bayfong
Or
from
silver serpents,
Korra.
or whatever they are.
Maybe this picture.
Yeah, that's
Side
how I
Eye Queen.
imagine her.
Yeah,
I imagine her a little younger, but same
me
attitude.
too.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
She's not as old as Lynn is, but
Oh,
that was my first
right.
thought, and it continues to
The
be my
great
thought.
thing about D&D is the power of imagination. The characters can look however you want them
Like
to.
I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
supposed to think of like Jaina, but given the
Paramore?
name,
Oh, because of
Theramore,
Theramore. Yeah.
but
No, I was saying Jaina Proud.
You
Right,
can think of
right.
whoever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want, guys. Whoever you
oh yeah,
want.
no, I definitely think of Lin Beifong.
Oh, so we'll be starting back up in just a few
In like
minutes,
a
guys. Just give us a
Yeah.
few seconds. Thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
episode brought to you by Tide Pods,
Cool.
the
Tide
best
Pods?
snack the USA has ever
Oh,
known.
wait, this just in. We've been contacted by Tide's attorneys. So backing up. They're confiscating all of our equipment.
They don't even sell Tide Pods anymore because
If
they're
you-
just too tasty.
If you eat a Tide Pod, you will find Dewey, and no one will touch your spaghetti.
It's like the meme rapid fire round.
If you eat it, well, I mean the real story is if you eat a Tide Pod, you won't have to worry about anything ever again.
So
it's
did you
just-
hear about that guy that tweeted at Gushers asking them to make Tide Pod Gushers
Yeah.
and they blocked
Yeah,
him?
no, he tweeted Gushers asking if he could ask a question, then DM'd them,
Yeah.
and then they blocked
And
him.
then they blocked him.
That's
So wait,
cool.
real talk, because I'm not down with it. You know,
You're down
one
with the
Tide
sick
Pod
memes?
is not gonna kill you. It's just some soap, right? Probably just give you really
It's
bad runs.
more than soap. It's like really, really, really
It's
bad.
really, really bad.
Hey, Kraft,
It's
thanks
not
for
just
follow.
like it's not just like hand soap.
Eric from
It's
Facebook.
it's not like Drano, but
Thank you.
it's not good.
Eric
That's
used to be
insane.
my
Like I can't
coworker.
imagine
That's
one
great.
Tide Pod would
Yeah,
kill you.
so I know Eric.
Like I'm not gonna stoop to this level, but I bet I could eat one.
No.
If you
no,
want
no,
to,
no.
please do so. Just don't record it so I never have to see you die horribly. Okay.
Please don't
How
eat a
about
Tide
that?
No,
Pod.
if you eat a Tide Pod, do it on stream.
I think one, it wouldn't be lethal.
I don't know about. Think about bleach.
No.
Think about
No,
bleach.
but-
How deadly is bleach? And it might have bleach in it or things equivalent.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Mm.
That's fucked up.
I mean, it looks appetizing, I'm sure, but don't eat it.
Like
You're
you,
not the expert first eat a
you-
Tide Pod.
you
Don't get me
remember-
wrong.
you remember
How
the
does it
story
come
of the frat in Maryland that got kicked
Oh,
off
yeah.
of campus for pouring bleach in a kid's eyes and he went blind?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's like that.
terrible.
But you're eating it.
Yeah, Jesus.
So
Okay, and back
Wow.
to the
the
story.
point is it's a bad
The point
time
is-
and no one should do it.
Back
The
to
point is-
this episode of Legends of Avantris,
point is,
brought
I
to you
never
by
should've-
Pokemon Go.
Not Tide Pods.
You're right, it's Marvel
I should-
Puzzle
I
Quest.
should
I'm
wear
sorry.
it like this.
They should
'cause then
fire
it
us.
looks like he's looking at people.
They should fire us. There you
No
go.
puzzle.
Ooh, nothing quite satisfies like a puzzle solved.
We
Oh,
do
that's
need to
really
follow
fun.
our splash. That's true.
We do.
We do.
No,
Sorry,
don't
we're
look at my
really
hair.
amateur. Yes, we're gonna keep
We're
improving. Really, but we're gonna keep improving. We've improved. If you look at our old stuff, we've been
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He used
no,
to
don't look-
DM from an ironing
an
board.
ironing
What was I
board.
looking for?
The ironing board DM is my stage
That was
name.
classy.
My street name
we
and
were
my
brilliant
stage
in
name.
class.
So-
Yeah, to be fair, it had charm.
Remember that time we played D&D in my apartment and we had to like put 2 tables together and I had to chalk one up on wood blocks so they were the same level. Yeah.
Those were the
Okay.
old
And
days.
in our old house, we had like the penis-shaped table.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Penis table is my
I
favorite.
love, yeah, good old penis table, never
I
fails.
do miss
Okay.
the fireplace.
Yes. Anyway, back to Goalhaven.
Cheers.
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 50 followers, Goldhaven, Orpheus escaping again.
Cheers to everyone hanging
Cheers.
out and chat with us.
We love you guys.
I'm cheersing with chili. But
Oh,
it's still
That's horrible.
That's the best chili.
That is the
Or
best.
cheer. The best
All right.
cheers chili.
So-
Cheery.
So,
Okay, so
With that, you are in Goldhaven. Seagulls are starting to rush by you. The bells are still going off. In a similar pattern, after Vanders had gone to alert the captain on duty, and they started manning their heavy ballistas. They look like harpoon ballistas, seemingly in order to designed to fight off of sea monsters and the like. Unfortunately, everything had happened so quickly that the harpoons had been ineffective against this dragon turtle. We'll just call it. That's what it is. A dragon turtle. You guys know what a dragon turtle is. And you start to see civilians kind of coming out of their homes. They're wandering around, and you hear, "Get back in your homes! It's still not safe. We don't know how many are left in the city. It'll take at least overnight for us to sweep the entire city." And so people are looking scared. They're trying to go back. You get a chance to look around. You see a lot of bodies all over the place. It's begun. Gainy's been helping, kind of dragging bodies back to into piles. Many of them are sea eagles. Many of them were guards. You see Amalia just resting against against one of this low stone wall behind a box, and you see that she's kind of crawled her way into this little nook where no one on the street can see her, and she's kind of hanging her head in shame, looking kind of off several feet ahead of her. And she's shaking her head, kind of muttering to herself. And a bit of calm is starting to come back to the city. It's less frantic. Obviously, there are the hurling boulders coming from overhead. The giant vultures are all going off to sea. You can kind of see, still on the horizon, the wisp, the silhouettes of ships on the horizon. As you kind of start to see the first ship go out to pursue. And it's in full. This is one of their major ships. It's in fully heavily armored, huge sails with that same golden sea eagle emblem that you've seen on their tabards, and if you remember on the hilt from Amalia's sword. And as you kind of see it go off, once it reaches a point outside of the city, you see the splash and rupture, and you can't even see what did it, and then it starts to sink into the sea. You then see the ships kind of start to double back and try to come back around to the harbor. Basically, when they come back to the harbor where Goldhaven is, once they realize what's going on. And so at this point, you guys are all rested and calm is.
I don't think the sea turtle is interested in actually destroying the fleet, just providing a cover for getaway.
I would agree. And I think at this point they're gone.
well, it's really important, but I don't think there is a daytime Dracula. I think there's just a nighttime Dracula.
I wish I knew what any of that meant.
I don't know what a Dracula is, but I'm sure you mean well.
It's one of those pale things that sucks your blood.
It wants to suck your blood,
Yeah, it talks like that.
As in your blood.
as in your blood.
It's a
So-
vampire, but more powerfuler.
They mentioned leaving, the signal being dusk. I wish we had a way to stall to keep them here, just to see what might have happened. Clearly they feared something.
I know. The nighttime Dracula.
It's possible that there's a
The
nighttime
more you
Dracula.
say it, the less it means to me.
Look, has anyone ever seen LeBlanc in the daytime? No. Has anyone ever seen a Dracula in the daytime? No.
To be fair,
I've
none of us have seen him more than once in
But
any
it was
in any
night.
circumstance.
Also, you keep using your definition in your definition. So we don't know what a Dracula is.
Hashtag nighttime Dracula. Also, Kira, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Welcome back. So awesome to have you
Oh
again.
yeah,
Miss
hey,
you.
Kira,
Kira,
Kyra.
let us know how to pronounce
Yeah,
it.
please.
I'm very big on pronunciation. Let me know how to pronounce it. I will never mispronounce any. They know how big I am on pronunciation. So.
True.
That's a good point. Ree's right with us, right?
Well, he was told to go get someplace safe
Oh,
by Amalia.
so he's run off.
We just let him go.
I mean, if you wanted to stop him, I can retcon that.
Yeah, I would've
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Whatever.
I wouldn't have trusted him to going anywhere by himself. So.
Rodick wants him to sleep atop his bosom.
If that's possible.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, we can be there.
He still wants to show him his horn.
I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, no, me
Uh,
yeah.
I
We can still be there. Yeah, that
I
makes
want to
sense.
give Amalia a pep talk, but I don't want to repeat it, so I'm not.
Come on!
I'm very sorry.
Come on!
It's perfectly in character for my character to do it. I'm
Do
just
it!
like,
Do it!
Hold on. You know, so the second you said that, I'm like, okay, here comes the Ganji pep talk. Can't wait.
Come on!
You can't say that and not do
I
it.
By the
know.
way, inspiration is reinstated in this campaign.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't realize. Okay, time out. I'm gonna say out of character. I always secretly wondered what kind of had happened to that. We just kind of phased it out without really talking about it.
Yeah, I wasn't.
We've kind of been on the fence about how you wanted to award them, but I can say that I'm very happy it's back.
Good. Usually, inspiration is a mechanic in order to get people to active roleplay, and our table active roleplays. So, but I mean, inspiration's back.
Yeah, but now it's
Sylvie,
just
take
turned
inspiration
into
for
really
your
badass
dimension door.
thing.
Yeah!
By the way. Sylvie takes an inspiration for a dimension door.
Saving people
Beautiful.
left and right.
Beautiful.
Alright, I'm gonna go walk up to her.
You'll be fine.
All of this
Go
morning-
now.
No, Genji will be fine. Me, the player, will not be. All
I
of
have
this spaghetti is
whiskey
falling
under the
out-
table. Would you like
Oh,
to-
Jesus Christ. Yes. Okay. So I walk up to her and so she's still muttering to herself.
She's talking, a little bit.
Okay. So okay. So first I'm gonna walk up and ask her, how are your wounds? Are you physically feeling okay?
I think this is kind of let's pause.
Yeah, let's calm down the
We'll
music.
pause the music here. She shakes her head and says, "My wounds don't matter."
Your wounds matter because without you, the entire town would be lost. You did what you could to save what part of the town you could, but this is war, and in war nothing ever goes the way you plan.
I thought we had everything under control. Even when the pirates attacked, I had sensed that something was off. After those cultists that you thankfully alerted me to, but it wasn't. I guess we saved Vito's life because of that.
We've saved Vito's life, we've saved Reeve's life, we've saved your life.
Unfortunately.
If this city is going to rebuild, if the city is going to even survive, it's going to need leadership, and it's going to need your leadership. Trust me, I know more than anyone what it's like to lose everything. But I found a way to move on, to keep going, to keep fighting for what I believe in. And you have to find a way to do the same. It can be done, but you have to find a way to do it. Okay.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Please, God.
Good music.
Good music.
Can I give myself guidance because fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yes, do it.
This is a hashtag bless moment. I've been waiting
Yeah.
for it.
Kira's here on Twitch.
Alright.
Hi.
Thank God. It ends up being a 20.
As you talk to her, she starts to nod more and more, and her eyes widen. And she kind of perks herself back up, and she says, I should probably close my eye for this, for the...
Gotta get in the mood, you gotta channel the character.
Yeah. You're right. I did the best I could, and whoever this person was that orchestrated this was out of our capability, out of my capability, as much pain as it brings me. And did you see that army? Did you see what they brought? The vultures, the bestial vulture, dragon dirt.
It would have been folly to be able to anticipate that. No one could have.
You're right. I suppose Vito is alive. Do we know the rest of the serpents?
You, Reeve, and Vito are the only ones we've confirmed, but I have no doubt we'll find the rest.
You did mention that Alphonse was protected somewhere.
I'm not concerned of Alphonse. He is the highest security in the whole city, and he's a very powerful alchemist. I'm sure there's more alchemical traps and guardings than my men could ever provide. And so she heaves herself up, and
I give her a hand up.
as you pull her up, you feel very inspired, taking inspiration.
Yeah! That was well deserved.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Oh my god.
Really, really good.
Angolan's over here shipping Ganji and Theron.
Oh, I totally did it.
I'll ship it in hell!
As he pulls her up,
Rodek,
she stumbles into his chest.
For the record, they call it canon because it sinks the ship.
Rodek, do you want to see my impersonation of Alphonse LeBlanc?
I would. Did he do
Sylvie, you sound like you have a hairball.
No,
I was gonna say that was
I'm a
Cadillac.
nighttime Dracula. Do you have your bag of wits?
He's not there.
I always have my bag of...
Can I see it?
But I need my wits.
Yeah, I know. I'll give it back to you. So I take his bag of wits. I kind of look at him and I turn around and I start shoveling some more dirt into his bag of wits. And then I give it back and I'll be like, after that, I think you need more wits. You've earned them.
I think I need more wits too. I need them.
Well,
While that's happened, you see Amalia pick herself up, and she says, "Thank you, Dragonborn. I didn't get your name."
Genji.
Genji Stormscale. That's right. I remember. I suppose I'm sorry. I'm forgetful. She and then Sylvie pulls you off and gives you the wits, and you see her go over and says, "You, young man," and then you see a very young seagull who's a straggler coming in. He has kind of a limp. His armor is coated in blood, whether it's the crooks or his own comrades, you don't know. He looks like he's seen some shit. And he says, "I want you to go to every single one of the estates of the serpents and give me a report back within 20 minutes. Do you understand?" And he's like, yes, ma'am. And then he salutes her awkwardly and sprints off. And then she comes back around and she nods and says, "Well, I can confirm Vito at least is alive, that we did not let him out as belligerent as he was this morning. And when I went to investigate, it was definitely clear that they had meant him very much harm. So your
There's no
actions
doubt.
last night absolutely saved the man's life."
was last night the masquerade?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
A lot has happened in the last
Time
24 hours.
passes very slowly in D&D. Very quickly or very slowly. There's no in between.
100%.
It's still faster than real time. I mean, but
Yeah.
we've actually got really good pacing.
Yeah, we do. So, I think once your lad confirms that the rest of the serpents are fine, I think we need to go get Vito. And I personally, if you'd let me, I'd like to escort him back to his home. And I want him to see the damage that has been done.
I think we should all escort him back to his home.
I would agree. And I would have nothing less. But I think that he needs to figure out what they've done, what else they took, what exactly it was that they took, and if you can give us any information about who these people are. We've been hunting this tiefling for months now, and he keeps beating us at every turn.
I understand. Well, I can no longer blame you for him beating you at every turn. That was priceless diversion, I suppose.
Their plan worked.
But I'm immediately concerned to let Vito leave the confines. We still have not done a full sweep of the city. There could be children of the sea. There could be some of these lockjaw crooks still lurking, and all it takes is one crossbow bolt.
Then why don't we wait until tomorrow?
I think an inventory can wait till tomorrow. I think what's happened tonight is done.
Though I do agree that we can and should wait until tomorrow. Lady Amalia, I do think that given everything that's happened, us saving Reeve, us saving you, that if there's anyone that you can trust him with, it would be us.
I absolutely. Do you just wish to speak to him? Of course you can go see him. It's not that you can't see him. I'm hesitant to let him be outdoors. Lest there be one of their arbalesters still squatting on top of a roof. All it takes is one crossbow bolt.
Oh. To be fair, I know we've spoken briefly in the past about Orpheus, and we filled you in very, very little. If
Fortunately.
When you have time, perhaps it's time you hear the full story. You've seen the extent to which he's willing to go to secure power, how powerful he actually is, and now we have no idea how powerful he's become.
I see.
And I think there's one or a few more things you should know, if we're being honest. I think we haven't been entirely truthful with you because of this threat since we've been in town. And I think that we owe you our honesty. I believe I gave you my name when we were introduced, but we aren't nobles. We don't have lots of money. We are, all of us are on missions. We're adventurers, and we've been hunting this sorcerer for some time now. And it's very dangerous, as you've seen. We've had, or maybe you didn't see, but we have some combat ability that nobles wouldn't have. So we can discuss that maybe another time, but I just want to let you know that at this point, I would prefer to end the charade and continue through the city as myself and as ourselves, if you think that would be agreeable.
Right after you finish that, Reeve kind of perks up because he's been standing there the whole time. He says, "Oh, that's for sure. They were all fighting better than I ever seen. Especially the little gnome over there with the great dance moves. She has great dance moves and great her magic is as good as her dancing. I've never seen any fighting like that."
Thank you, Reeve. And I'm actually inspired by Rodak to tell the truth as well. There's something I've been keeping from all of you. My favorite color is not green. It is glitter. And I'm ashamed that I kept it from you.
Wow!
Could you still be?
We appreciate the honesty.
Later.
Now
a tear drips down her face.
But it's a glittery too.
Now that we're all admitting our flaws and problems, I should be shocked and outraged, I suppose, that 5 imposters have been wandering around Noble Garden undetected by the sea eagles for as long as you have.
You should.
There's like this kind of grim smile that comes to her face, and she says, like, "I guess I'd say I should clean house, but I guess that was taken care of for me."
Yeah, probably.
That's dark.
Too soon.
I mean, the thing is, if you were dead right now, you couldn't do any of those things. So I guess it's it's an overall win on your part.
And she
And
looks
don't
at you.
take it too hard.
She,
To be fair, I hate to admit it, but I am Avantris True Strike, and you may have heard of me.
Who?
He looks away, and at the same time, he thinks, no, maybe I'm doing my job.
Speaking of
Hold on,
shedding
hold
a
on.
single tear.
Can Amalia get inspiration for that sick burn?
Savage!
It's nice to meet all of you, and I am so very rude. What was your name, small gnome?
Lou, nice
Lou.
to meet you.
No, it's not. It's not.
Just for a little bit
No,
longer.
no more. We're not doing that.
Fine.
Tell her.
It's Sylvie.
Sylvie, I
Yeah.
was cursing you from every deity in the outer planes for saving my life, but I realize that was selfish of me.
It is. Because more will die with you dead.
I thank you very much for saving my life, and as long as I draw breath, you are welcome in Gullhaven, whatever you need, and I will absolutely call on you, and we will stop this, whatever they are planning, because there is something more that I heard talk of in my state. I was not able to comprehend much, but they are returning.
Is it anything you could relay to us?
I know for sure that there's some sort of temple on the island where the Lockjaws reside. It's Undertow Island wasn't always like that. They took it over a very long time ago, and we thought they were a bunch of savages trying their hand at sailing and sword fighting. We didn't think
Pretending
anything
to
of
be
it.
crocodiles.
I don't know anything about that. But obviously we weren't keeping enough of an eye on them. We weren't that concerned. There's something there. What it is, maybe that Orpheus character found something or unlocked something in the sea cult. I don't even... All three parties in unison.
It's very happy music for how sullen you sound.
Fucking
It
shit.
sounds pretty like nautical, though. You got to admit.
That's a myth. You can't win them all with the music, ladies and gentlemen. You can't win them all. Go ahead.
So,
Players talk first.
so I think you're right, and I think it's extremely concerning that they orchestrated this entire thing. It was very well put together, very well planned,
Yeah.
and I would bet all of our lives that Orpheus orchestrated all of it.
Yeah.
And it goes to show just how dangerous this man is.
Yeah.
And so I think we've seen just a taste of what we're up against.
Yeah.
And if there's something else on the island, I stop and look at Zoe. And look back.
Yeah.
There's like a little vein, you know, like an anime vein pops on my forehead.
So we can
Nani?
stand you a high five.
Nani?
Nani? I think that this is a danger that we're going to have to take on together. So, I don't think you can wait that long, but I think it can wait tonight. And we can discuss plans later. But I think that all of Gullhaven is in grave danger as long as these pirates and the sorcerer and this sea cult is left to their own devices.
And I also think that we should probably wake up Dracula and let him know what happened and see if he has anything
I'm fine with that.
that he is capable of doing, because they were very scared of the nighttime, which is, you know, Dracula's main playground, so, you know, maybe he can help out in some way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
While we're on the topic-
Vampire!
While we're on the topic of working together, and I understand that this has been an incredibly devastating experience for the city, Just gonna drop this in there. If we're all working together, I need some sort of, since I've revealed my true identity to you. I may need some protection from Silas Belliver. I hate to ask it and bring it up like this, but if there's any chance that he's looking for me or has contacted, I don't know what you Silver Serpents do in your time, and I don't know who you speak to, but there's a reason we keep a low profile, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You are one of the few people in the city who know that I've returned, and I don't want it well known.
Silas Belliver, what trouble do you have? Are you not paying union dues?
It's worse than that, I fear. It's a very long story, which I don't have time to get into now, but it wouldn't shock me if he had come asking at one point, or if word had spread that he was looking, and now that you know that I'm here, I'd prefer he still didn't.
Well, I'll be sure to alert my guard and make sure I'll give you all a official Sea Eagle seal on my personal crest.
I love seals.
To wear around the city, and I'll make sure that you have eyes on you. And Belliver is, personally, I have a distaste for the man, but Alphonse seems very fond of him.
Great.
The only reason that he really gets into our events and is even allowed in our circles. So
right, I recognize that he's not as great as you seven, but still, he's a powerful man, and I have reason to be wary.
Don't worry, Avantris. If he comes after you, I'll punch him. You saw the damage I did to Rodat.
Oh, it was...
I appreciate the fervor.
A lot. A lot.
So, unless... Sorry, I don't actually have anything to say. No, I was gonna...
Duration retract.
No, never mind. I take it back.
No, come on. What are you gonna do?
No, it was not anything interesting.
He meant well. That is mine, but you can have a sip if you'd like.
Would you like me to get you one, DM?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, if you wouldn't mind. I'm a DM that runs on seltzer, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. So...
Giant brand. We're not sponsored. It's really good.
It is quite good.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. Loot crate. No, I'm joking.
Marvel
so-
puzzle quest.
And so,
6 ways to Sunday.
at this point, the sun has set the final orange, or the sun is almost setting the final kind of orange rays, kind of casting this beautiful purple light, and if you weren't really aware of the horrible bloodshed and destruction that had just befallen the city, you'd say it was shaping up to be a gorgeous night. The fog has completely cleared, and the sky is absolutely gorgeous. There isn't a cloud in it. The smell of smoke is starting to dissipate a little bit more. The smell of destruction. You see workers and laborers starting to rush into the city, already starting to rebuild. You see people barking orders. You see also the sweeping for anyone remaining begins. People are kind of looking. They're going door to door, making sure that there's knocking, asking questions. Is anything unordinary? Have you seen any giant humanoid crocodiles?
Sylvie's gonna help with that.
Okay.
She's gonna help in any way she can tonight,
Sure thing.
even if she doesn't get any sleep.
I'd like to turn to Ganji and ask, is there any way that you can contact Sheamus? I know that he was out looking for contacts and information, and I'd like to make sure that he's safe.
Not tonight. I would have to contact him in the morning.
I understand.
It's not a bad idea.
Can send Lumi to him, but
How would she find him?
she'd look.
I don't think that's a good spending of time.
Sheamus is not helpless. He's a rough and tumble guy. He's lived here forever. I just, with what's happened, we should perhaps retire and rest, and maybe Ganji can reach out to him in the morning, if he has not returned by then.
With that, Amalia is standing now. She's clutching her limp arm. It's still completely shredded given the healing. and kind of she had been prodding at her ruined eye, and she nods and says, "Well, I appreciate your help. Please take this." And she pulls out a brooch, this gleaming golden sea eagle, the same symbol of the tavern, and she hands it to Ganji, and she says, "Ganji, please take this. Anything you need, show this to my officers, and they should be able to get you what you need. Please bear with them. They're on very high alert right now, and their orders are very strict. So please try to speak to the commanding officers, and then please be respectful of their time. I must go speak with Alphonse immediately. He should know what to do."
Of course.
Well, thank you so much, and I will be in touch as soon as I can. And Avantris True Strike, I'll remember the name next time.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the first.
Thank you. And then you kind of see her walk off slowly, and you kind of see the seagull stop and say, "Oh, Lady Amalia," and like, High Lord Amalia," and saluting. And she basically has to keep waving them to go on and keep doing their duty, and she's heading to where you remember the masquerade being held the night previous.
Did she say anything we want?
Didn't say that,
So-
but
Kalina, do you think she'd get me a bouncy house?
I don't know that those even exist in this universe. Maybe.
Okay, maybe's better than no.
Maybe we can ask Alphonse. I bet he knows how to do it.
No, he's a Dracula. Draculas don't use bouncy houses.
They have
You use a
magic.
lot of strange words.
And
I just assume it's all from the Feywild, so she lives in another universe anyway. So
I've #seen some shit.
All right. Well, what time is it at this point?
It's probably, I don't know, 7:30ish, 7ish. The sun has set recently.
I don't think there's. I mean, if you all want to talk to Vito tonight, we can, but I think that can wait till tomorrow.
I think we're all pretty spent.
I agree.
The man's not going anywhere.
Right.
The
Right.
seagulls are on high alert. I doubt they'll see any action tonight anyway.
The one thing that I would say is we could at least test the theory that Alphonse only leaves his castle at night. We could wait until sundown and see if he appears. I don't know why he would leave his keep. Wait, so did Amalia go to Alphonse's?
Yeah.
It would all just be circumstantial anyway.
Right. Because now the city's safe and all that, right?
I could walk up to him and try to turn undead him.
Doesn't sound like a great. Didn't you use Detect Good and Evil at the party or no?
No, I
you
use.
find hidden entity or some shit.
Yeah, I use locate person.
Locate person.
Locate person, and Orpheus was not
Yeah,
there.
specifically
That
on
was the idea.
Orpheus. So no, I wouldn't have noticed that. Unfortunately, that would have been fun.
Well, he
Turn undead.
He
Jesus.
did say he would call us, but now that things are a bit different, a wee bit different,
Yeah, he might text us instead.
he might text us. That's right. He might text us instead.
Maybe he knows sending.
So, I think at this point, let's just go eat and go to bed.
Is the Wit and Whimsy still standing,
That's
or whatever the inn
You
is?
could go check.
Let's.
Well, we have to. We got to go back there.
It's
so
it's
go
the
check.
only inn we have left. The other one was already destroyed.
If it's not, I've got a solution.
The
Do
Whimsy.
you?
I have my little hut.
I was gonna say
I
the
can
Yeoman's
put us all
tiny
in
hut.
our hut.
Oh, that's a good point. Fair point.
All right.
Well, let's go back and hopefully they're still serving food, or we could ask them to make us food. I really wouldn't like tea
I'm
rations
sure there's
at
some
this
sort of relief effort going on.
point. Right.
So you make your way through the town. You see some houses have been hit really badly. You see places where the massive flaming boulders have been crashed into houses and buildings. Some just kind of in the street. You might need to walk around and navigate. Some of the bushes and plants on fire still. They're being put out. You make your way around through the streets to Wittenwinsey, and you see that some of the ground floor windows are broken in, but there do seem to be people coming in and out. There seem to be a few patrons that you recognize. They look a little shaken. Some seagulls saying, "Get back inside! Get back inside!" And as you make your way to the door, some seagulls stop you. Like, "Oh, stop! Only resident. Oh, yes, right this way." And you guys are.
I'm definitely getting my bouncy house.
You are let inside, and you see that same woman, Grenda, the dwarvish woman, says, "Oh no, you made it alive! I'm so happy. We're recommending all of the patrons go to their rooms immediately." And we're doing the best to get our food stores. We're still trying to provide the best service, even in the light of this horrible attack. We're doing the best we can under the circumstances.
Do we still have Reeve with us? Because we didn't let him go anywhere, right?
Yeah, we just walked away from Reeve, I guess.
I thought we were taking him with us.
I
We
figured
can't hold him captive. He's a...
Yeah, I figured
So we can go back, and he thanked you and said that he was gonna go and get some sleep, and Amalia she got him guards to escort him back to his place.
Yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere he doesn't want to
he's
go.
fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
And again, Sylvie, we can't keep him.
And so he says like, well, we should probably roleplay that a little bit. So as he's getting ready to leave, we'll say, "Oh, I walked you to you. I wanted to walk Sylvie to her inn for saving my life. It's what a gentleman does. That's what Alphonse tells me. That's what Mr. LeBlanc says all the time, is to be a gentleman."
I don't know what gentlemen do, because I spend time with these schmucks.
Well,
Damn.
Mr. LeBlanc says that I'm a gentleman. So truth be told, I think I'm pretty charming. If I say so myself.
I don't know, the first thing you did was put your pepperoni in my face. That's not gentlemanly.
I thought everyone liked pepperoni. Who doesn't like pepperoni?
I like your pepperoni. I pat him on the shoulder.
Rodek and his pepperoni.
It was good. It was a wee bit spicy. It was very lovely.
Thank you. And he doesn't get any kind of sense. There's no sense of irony. He just genuinely like, "Oh, I love pepperoni." Yeah.
Rodek does nothing but say he likes other men's pepperonis and want to show them his horn. I'm just saying.
Would you like to see my horn?
His literal canon. He's trying to show everybody his horn, and he just loves fucking Reeves pepperoni.
I love Reeves pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Somebody touching my pepperoni.
touching my...
Anyway. So I walked you to the end now, and then we'll say that there's seagulls that are flanking him. So I'll go back and see. I guess if my butler is okay, I guess.
Awesome. Please don't let any more fake crocodiles take you, because you have to waste my time when I have to pick you up and stuff. It's just unfortunate for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was just a whole unfortunate situation. What can you do? All my guards, they're dead.
That's okay. I'm just glad that you're
They're
not dead.
Terrible stuff.
Did you know them well?
Not really.
Well, stay safe, lad.
Alphonse
Please
says
stay
I
safe.
shouldn't talk to many people, so this is a little bit new for me.
So where are you going?
I'm going back home.
Why don't you go to Alphonse's manor? Would he let you stay there
Oh,
tonight?
of course. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay,
Let's go
we know
there.
Amalia's there. We know Alphonse is there. Why don't you go there?
Just don't let him drink your blood. But
Oh,
Just-
yeah, I don't think he would do
Just
that.
be safe.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks.
All right.
Well, I'm famished. I'm gonna go get some pepperoni.
Rodek's like, me too. I'd like to go.
Can I join you? No. Well, have a good night.
Be safe.
Thanks for saving my life again, Sylvie, and
You're
all
welcome.
of you. You're heroes. I want to be like you someday.
I'll teach you to dance sometime.
Oh, I'm no dancer, but I guess I'll try anything. Truth be told. Well,
I'm sure we'll see you soon.
frankly, I'm tired, so I'm gonna get out of here. See ya. And so he waves awkwardly and turns and with his group and makes his way off. And so, blah, 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 and we're here. You're in the inn. They're rationing off the food and just trying to make sure there's enough for everybody. But there does seem to be enough, at least for the evening, for everyone to eat. And they're not sure. You can see her arguing with someone, maybe her supplier, and saying that, like, demanding that she needs this shipment to come in same time that tomorrow. She doesn't care about, pirates or not. Death. Like the fact that her, his barge got completely destroyed by the dragon turtle. She doesn't care. She needs it now. Like she needs it tomorrow on time because she's very rich and noble tenants and patrons.
Guests,
So she cannot afford. Not tenants, guests, and she cannot afford to be running less than optimally for more than a night.
Speaking of dragon turtles, Avantris, at least now you have the perfect excuse for us destroying that boat of your friends.
Ganji, my friend, you are thinking quite roguelike.
That's brilliant!
I'm almost upset. I didn't think of it myself.
Avantris.
To be fair, we have several very high-powered allies. Now, my friend is quite the force of nature, and therefore I'm probably still dead. But it's worth an absolute try.
What? Now, I turn back to Grendel, or what's her name?
Grenda the soft hand.
Grundle.
The old Grundle.
The old
Girthy
Grundle.
She's Girthy Grunder, they call it. That's a
Shout out to
name.
Girthy Grundle, we love you.
Yeah, we
We
love
love
you,
you.
Girthy Grundle.
So, was what you were saying earlier that you are serving dinner?
Oh yes, of course. We never would not serve dinner. Why? Are you
We would
going
like
to-
a tea. We would like
Oh,
a tea.
okay, wonderful. She seems very nervous. She's very shaken by this. It seems almost a little bit absurd that her place was hit not nearly as badly as other places, and she still is completely, off her nutso. So she comes over and brings you some food, and it's a little bit less than you normally would have gotten. It's not a buffet style, but hopefully, I hope this is enough. Let me know if you need more, and we'll be able to find some.
This will be fine.
Okay. So we eat?
So yeah, so we're gonna eat, and so I turn to Ganji. I say, so, what the hell was that thing? It looked vaguely dragon-like, but wasn't really a dragon, I don't think.
Do I know about dragon turtles?
Make an intelligence check with advantage. Oh no, a history check with advantage.
Okay. What? Not much.
Boy.
I do have proficiency in history at least.
You do.
So,
At least
it's gonna be a
3 or
12.
Oh, okay. Higher than I thought it was going to be. So you could definitely remember from your studies of ancient history that was indeed a dragon turtle. You remember hearing the occasional tales of chromatic dragonborn being able to harness the power of dragon turtles and being able to control and manipulate and dominate them through various means in the beginnings of the wars between the metallics and the chromatics. But whatever technology or whatever rituals that had been lost and long gone, and given that the chromatics, basically the entire empire of both metallics and chromatics had been relegated to a desert. There haven't been many opportunities. You've obviously never seen one, but you've definitely seen illustrations, and it's a part of dragonborn history.
Okay. So yeah,
and you know that they're very powerful, and that they reside. One of their original locations is the elemental plane of water.
Okay. So I relay that, saying, clearly it seems that Orpheus's use the relics he stole from us to tap into the elemental plane of water as the chromatic dragonborn once did to control this dragon turtle to cover his tracks.
So you think he summoned it from the plane of water?
Yes, and is controlling it with the increase in power from these gems.
So you don't need to be dragonborn to control a dragon turtle.
It's magic is magic, and tell me if this makes sense. But the dragonborn may have been the ones to discover it, but once the means are developed, magic is magic, and anyone who can understand and use magic in the proper ways with the proper knowledge and studies and the like can use it. With
Gods know I don't pretend to understand all that.
So I think honestly at this point, it's probably safe to assume that they summoned this thing from the plane of water with Deadra's help, with the helmet, and I think that explains his interest in the plane of water. So what worries me is that he has an interest in all the planes. So this is just a quarter, at least, of his plan.
It probably is not even that much. I'd imagine this is just a fringe benefit of his research that lets him continue it in peace.
Right.
So, his plan, whatever, who cares, right? Like, doesn't matter. Our plan is important. So what do? Are we just gonna wait until we're gonna wait for tomorrow, and then then we have to wait all day because obviously nighttime Dracula's not coming out during the day. So what if they attack during the day? Are we gonna go out to that island? Are we gonna try to stab old Crocodile Jim with the gun in the face?
What I would like to do, what I think might be a good plan is, yes, we should try to travel out to that island. But we need to, we need to stop Orpheus from whatever he's doing. We need, these artifacts are of incalculable interest to my people and certainly to the chromatic dragonborn, who it's only by pure chance that they weren't here to see that and recognize it for what it was, and that can't last. So I definitely think we need to get on this, but I don't think we can do it by ourselves. What I wonder is, clearly the dragon turtle is not going to let us get to this place over on the water. What I think we need is a way to travel in the air, and you have your broom, but that's not going to be enough, I think.
Do we have any idea how far it actually is?
This island's on.
It's hundreds of miles. Yeah. It's hundreds of miles.
It's a charted island.
It's not an island that any of us would have ever visited, correct? Even me living here in Galhaven, there's no reason I would.
Yeah, no, it's part of a really large series of islands way off the coast of Karkinos, which is the main continent that you're on right now, and it's a string of islands, and it's the northernmost island, I believe, of Undertow. And it's hundreds of miles away.
So we're currently landlocked due to the giant threatening water beast. I'm certainly not opposed to heading the direction you've all suggested. I think that the island is of great interest to us, but there are other things still here on the mainland for us as well, and it does mean postponing the rest of them. I understand that the fate of, our potential realm is at stake here, and Orpheus is public enemy number one, so to speak, but leaving here would mean not returning for probably quite some time. It's a very far journey.
I think...
I don't see how we can't go after Orpheus.
He's bound to show up again, I bet.
So, I'd like to say that we can't leave him. We can't. But we can't go on our own. The 5 of us just can't walk up to the island and kill pirates and vultures and demons and whatever
I mean,
else.
that's absolutely true. You can't walk up to an island. That's part of it being an island.
All right.
Accurate.
I'm sure a wizard could
That's
cast a
honestly
spell.
probably
And...
one of the smartest things that you've ever said.
So, my point is, I think we need to, tomorrow or whenever, we need to meet with as many serpents as we can and formulate a plan of us, the seagulls, anyone else that can help.
If Alphonse is as powerful as they say he
Right.
is, I imagine he has a way to help us get to the island, and perhaps even a way to help us
like a
once we're...
teleportation circle or something. He can like put us in it, and then we turn into goop, and then we like end up as goop on the island. Ooh.
I mean,
I
I would rather not have to cast my ritual of water walking every hour for hundreds of miles. So let's put that on the back burner. But
Yeah.
but
No,
I
would much rather be goop.
exactly.
I don't like the sound
Wouldn't
of
we
you.
all really? I think we need to talk to Alphonse, and as little as I know and trust about him, we need some magical firepower at their backs,
Right.
and he seems the best way to get it.
I'll
I
do
agree.
it.
We need a
What if we
fleet.
could polymorph us into like flying beasts?
It only lasts for an hour,
Beasties.
and that's not
We're
long
talking-
enough to get 100 miles.
Yeah.
It
I was
only
gonna
lasts
say,
what?
1 hour.
Oh, you can't finagle that into longer.
It's
no.
been my vague knowledge of the region insists that we're potentially traveling hundreds of miles. This is no short journey.
Do we have a map of the area?
Hashtag island goop.
Yeah, where? We haven't printed one.
Do you know where the prince
No,
is?
no, I mean our
No,
characters.
he means as the players.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, you guys, I don't think you have, I don't know, is that something you guys...
I would say no.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
say
think so. We never went.
I'd say
looked
probably
for one.
no. I mean, you could probably go and buy one.
Well, yeah, I'm just wondering if we have like one to look at right now, or
No.
that might just be a
Vantis would
thing I do.
probably know the general layout of the islands to the west,
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm sure.
So, right, I would agree that I have some idea, but if I've never been there, I can't say, oh, I know how long it'll take us to get there, or how long it is,
Right,
you know?
right.
I just know it's very, very far.
Yeah, I definitely know that you would know enough that it's more than an hour's travel away.
Now, so I honestly think that the polymorph idea is not a bad one, because we know that he can do far more than just this our standard spells can do. He transformed. We drink a potion. We were polymorphed into whatever mask we were wearing. So this
And that was just for a party.
And that was
trick,
just for a
so
party.
Imagine if he wanted
Exactly.
to like do something serious.
Exactly. So, I think that we don't know what all these people can do. We don't know what power they have. You know, Vito may have some kind of crazy magical doomsday device that hopefully Orpheus didn't steal. We'll see.
Or hopefully didn't fall into the sea.
Right,
But
right. But
that's to one
I
side.
think we just need to meet with them and
Yeah.
plan an
let's do
attack.
we didn't see any like flying carpets in Vito's stash, did we?
No, make an intelligence check.
Do you think that maybe we could set up like a brunch?
18.
You remember that you did not see one.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think that we could set up a brunch and like maybe so what we could do is we could get a bouncy house and then we could have everyone meet us in the bouncy house because people are a lot more amicable when they're having a good time, and then we could convince them to do stuff for us in the bouncy house.
It's a great idea.
Thanks.
I think a lot of that. I think a brunch sounds nice.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Is your Leoman's tiny hut at Leoman's tiny bouncy house?
I don't know. I could ask the god of the world and maybe he would let it be.
The most restful bouncy house there's ever been.
Oh, brunch for Draculas. I like that.
I would say that's the actual name of my new novel coming out. I think.
I was
next
gonna say,
month.
great band.
I was going to say, I thought that was the name of our band.
Brunch for Draculas. It's an erotic romance featuring several Draculas. Actually, it gets
We're also
amazing.
starting an indie band.
And
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
I play bass.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
So
we have it covered. We have a 3-piece at least.
yeah.
Just real quick, while we're all laughing and joking around, I just want to So Michael, what's your Twitch name? I forget. M
Michael?
Drysdale. Send over a picture, a quick sketch of Rodek, and I just want to show the screen.
Oh, can we also show Vanders too?
Yeah. So I'll
So
go back.
we were talking in Twitch chat.
that's
and
so
said we
amazing.
forward them to the page or put them in the Discord.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely sort of,
Given permission, you
Yeah.
know, I said as long as the artists were comfortable with it,
Yeah.
then
yeah, and Kyra, we love your the Vanders, but that's why we didn't post because we wasn't sure if we had your permission. So we're kind of
Yeah.
awkward about this stuff.
I was
We've never gotten
actually-
fan art before. We're not really sure how it works.
I was
So-
going to message you and see if we had your permission to post it
And
on our
he-
page.
She did say we did that.
He's
Okay.
this sexy
And then
motherfucker, Vandris.
Oh my
Hashtag Van Dreaming!
Yeah.
Oh,
hashtag
jeez.
Vandry,
Oh,
baby.
jeez.
How
And
So
Kira's
anyway,
incredibly
we're gonna
talented,
have
both you
something
guys
way
are.
more official for like fan art, but just this is new
Yeah.
to us. So we'll figure it out. But I just wanted to show everybody
Your
our
art is
stream.
amazing, so awesome, like so
I
appreciative.
also
That
shared
is
a
so-
link to the Discord because people
Yes.
were asking
Yes.
on Twitch. So if you're on Facebook currently,
Thank you so much.
come over to our Twitch to find the Discord link,
Maybe
or
we'll
someone
see it.
else
We'll
will
have
have
to
to post
repost
it
it.
into
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah.
for the Discord.
So I will
Rhoda
post
will
it
do
right
that.
now.
Yes, I mean, yeah, that was.
That's amazing.
That's really, it's an honor, guys.
You guys are
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank
Really
you.
good.
So,
Yeah,
so
we,
cool.
we were talking a little bit. We just want to say we love that you guys are just taking stabs at it to imagine what we look like, especially because, you know, I personally haven't given it that much thought. I know that the twins and Nikki have really thought about what they look like as characters, so I think it's cool to see what you guys imagine versus what we
Yeah,
think, too,
it's
which is
really
really
awesome.
Love it. Awesome, guys.
Amazing.
We'll be posting all that with it. Everyone has their permission.
Yeah.
We're posting those to the Facebook page for sure. And so you guys are still at the inn or whatever. Oh,
Yeah,
we're so
Bouncy house.
let's say if you really channel a lot of magic into it, you could probably make a bouncy effect. It's not gonna look like a fucking bouncy castle, but like. What does how even look like? It's like a
It's
dome.
a
right?
dome. It is a dome of an opaque dome of any color.
So you can make it like a pink dome, and you can make
Can
a
I-
little
can I make
bouncy
it-
effect, and yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's
I
fake
love
magic.
having magic.
I could see.
Isn't it just the best?
Yes.
These clowns don't know what they're missing.
Oh, what would I do
It's the
without you,
Feywild,
Ganji?
man. I mean, when you're channeling that, you can basically do what you want, I guess. Okay.
Always sticking with the pointy end, I
Oh,
always
it's
say. That's all I
Lehman's
need.
bouncy hut.
I love it. Okay, so
Where's the innkeep?
She's kind of off tending to the people. You kind of saw you're yelling at a few people and kind of apologizing profusely to a few guests that
I just
are.
want to walk up to her and say I apologize for the interruption, but
No, it's fine. It's fine.
there was an older gentleman with us, a real salty sea dog with an accent. He had left early this morning. He didn't happen to come back, did he?
I saw that dashing gentleman earlier, but I never saw him return. I hope he's all right.
I do as well. Thank you for keeping an eye out.
unless we have something else to talk about,
I would say we sleep.
yes, I could go for some naps myself.
Good old 4-hour meditation for this elf.
I would own it. Wait. Hold on. Where's Sheamus?
We just talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
yeah.
Like just now.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I
yes,
went
yes,
over to the
yes.
innkeep to see if he'd returned at
Oh,
all.
I'm sorry.
She said
I'm
that
trying to
that's
post
okay.
Discord. My
And-
bad.
and-
She said that
I-
she didn't see him. I also spoke to Ganji earlier and asked if he could potentially reach out to Sheamus, and unfortunately we're all just too exhausted. So I
Well,
think
that's
come
okay.
morning, if he still hasn't returned, then Ganji may attempt to speak with him.
All right. Well, yeah. I think we finish our meal and we'll head to bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
You make your way to your rooms. You see, as the night falls over the city, there's a lot of cleanup to do. There is been a lot of death and a lot of destruction. There's a very dark, grim, morbid sense over the city, but there is a relief that the pirates were thwarted. You hear people talking in vague whispers about the heroes that saved 3 of the serpents. and the heroes that were responsible, and one person mentioned that they saw some of them fighting, and that they're very happy that 3 of their leaders were not taken, thanks to these heroes, and so there is a hope. There's a relief after the grimness. You make your way to your rooms. You go to your room. Sheamus is not waiting
Damn.
That's a problem we can work on tomorrow.
I mean, again, the old man can handle himself. He certainly isn't helpless. He's been around the block, if you know what I'm saying. So I expect him to turn up on his own time. He's probably doing his own things. He has plenty of connections, and I think he'll be all right.
You go to bed, and you complete a long rest.
Woo!
Thank God.
We have what, half of our hit die?
Yeah.
And just real quick.
And it's rounded down or up?
Down, right?
Damn.
I thought down.
What is?
It's always rounded down.
Yeah, I think it's down.
So Kira or Kyra, just let us know in the
Please
message which
let us know
one it
if
is.
we're pronouncing your name wrong.
Is it Kita?
Yeah.
I'll Death Note or
It's so
Kyra.
cute, it's so cute, show.
So she has some work in progress. She says sketches of Avantris,
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Annulin,
Ooh, hey, look
and
at that.
Sylvie.
Look at that.
I love it.
Sylvie.
Very
cute
awesome.
pointy ears.
So
That's amazing,
Cute
guys.
pointy ears.
isn't that great?
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Just for anybody else who joined us in the second half of our stream, wasn't
good
here
call.
earlier. We are going to be at Katsucon this year. And our lovely DM and Nikki, who also DMs another campaign within the Legends of Avantris channel.
Yeah.
They're both hosting a panel about DMing. Well, we should all make an appearance. So if you want to come see us, come hang
We'll
out.
probably be there.
We'll
Maybe
be
up on
doing our
stage. You never
D&D
know.
thing at Katsu. So if you're going to be in the greater DC metro area and you're going to be at Katsucon, please come say hi, find us. The best way to contact me, honestly, is probably through Twitter or something like that. So maybe we'll put Twitter information or Facebook information or something.
Yeah.
Because if you want to reach out to us while you're at the con, feel free to reach out or something, because we'll be hanging around at the Gaylord for 4 days or so.
Or just send a direct message to the Facebook page.
That's a good idea
and
too.
we're
Message
all
the Facebook
mods,
page.
so we can see that as well.
That's a good idea.
Either way you prefer.
It's like Death Note. Kita.
Kita! Okay, good.
Yes. I'm so glad it's Kita.
Okay, great.
Okay. We sleep.
You go to sleep, and you awake. Sorry, guys. I'm a monster.
You're so mean.
What happens?
I said, and we're level 8, and he says no.
No way.
This campaign's going for years, guys. A decade at least.
Before we get level 8.
It'll be years.
So close.
I don't know if I ever finished actually leveling from the last time we did it.
So easy as a rogue.
You should
All I have to
probably-
do is grab an
probably do
extra one of these, throw in a little extra of this.
Just a little bit of
Can you
evasion.
keep an eye on Facebook?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we started late. So.
My
I
phone
didn't
died.
finish picking my
My phone
spells
died.
or whatever.
Oh, you probably have to do more spell stuff, if I were to
Yeah.
guess. We can talk about it
We'll
after.
talk about that
the
offline.
I think I have my level. Well,
just make sure that we're not
yeah.
running over. please.
Whatever.
Because my phone died. Okay, so you are awake in the tavern. There seems to be a little bit less commotion downstairs from what you can hear. There seems to be just kind of the weariness after such a traumatic day for the city. They haven't had a worse day than this in many, many years. The city is old and it's had very horrible, horrible days in its past, but not in a generation at the very least.
Sucks to suck.
And especially not since you hear that it hasn't happened. At least it's not the fact that it happened when Alphonse was the head of the Silver Serpents was totally unthinkable. There's a very deep sense of security.
So are we awake? Or?
You're awake.
Okay.
Do what you
Well,
want. This is D&D.
So
What if we can banish a dragon?
I want to go down and, of course, get some breakfast. Second breakfast.
What magic?
Is everybody joining me? Are we all coming
Yeah.
down?
Sure, why
If
not?
he's from a different plane,
Yes.
he doesn't return.
Yeah,
so
no, yeah.
He's permanently banished.
Yes.
I look at Ganji And I say, so, are you...
Hold on, they're having a secret mage meeting.
I know.
Let him finish, and then
These
you can
wizards.
RP.
Whole bunch of wizards.
Yeah, right. This is these magic people. Do.
Actually, they're all wizards to me. I don't care. Ah,
They're
I
all
never
wizards!
did.
laddie.
Oh my
I'm
You're a
God.
wizard!
Probably die.
I drink
Probably.
beer.
Almost certainly, but
Bear?
I love that.
I don't know.
What a way to go.
I don't-
You just say the
Beer.
magical word.
I drink beer.
beer.
Is that better? Better?
Better.
Better?
Better.
Okay.
Better.
We'll try. We'll work on
You've
my
got
accent.
me.
Sorry.
I love it. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
good.
keep that in my back.
Okay, anyway, they wizard council.
They mage chat.
And I go, so Genji, are you able to contact Sheamus?
Yes, I can.
Presently?
Give me 1 second. Hang on.
Let me work on my cell reception.
I have to figure out my spell.
You're a wizard,
Harry. I love Harry Potter.
You're a wizard.
Nothing makes me happier than Harry Potter.
D&D makes me happier than Harry Potter.
If I could play D&D at Hogwarts, that would make me the happiest.
Would you play like a Harry Potter role-playing game?
In a heartbeat.
How would that work?
I don't know. Don't care. I would do it.
Let's talk about it offline.
Yeah.
He's looking up his thing.
Yeah, we're
Sorry. Give me.
Anyone want to chat?
No, I'm
while-
saying like let's plan that shit offline.
Okay, Folly Potter. You and I are gonna roll 20, and we're gonna do a Hogwarts themed D&D session.
Muscle
I
wizard
mean, everybody
cast.
needs a sassy Slytherin on their team.
So,
Oh my
anyone want to chat while?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm good. So yes, I can actually cast sending. So what do you want me to tell him, or ask him?
Well, honestly, I was hoping that you'd just be able to reach him and see that he's okay.
Well,
You know,
you should
find
just
out what he's been up to. I know
invite him to
that
lunch
it's
at
a
noon.
very brief contact, but any contact is better than no contact.
Yeah, invite him to brunch at noon in my bouncy house.
Brunch at noon in the bouncy house. Got it.
Don't say that. No. Don't say that. Say what Avantris said.
But then add on that part about bouncy.
If you have enough characters left in your tweet, that's fine.
Oh God.
Get the important stuff first. Please.
The bouncy house. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna cast sending
Okay.
to Sheamus, asking his status, where he is. Brunch or meet up at Wit and Whimsy, if possible,
Oh,
for brunch
okay. Perfect.
at the bouncy. But then I run out of letters.
My hate for you grows 12 points. Energy.
It grew 2 sizes that day.
Andrew is slowly
It did.
becoming Sylvie's favorite member of the party because he's the only one that enables her.
What's your house, Sylvie? What's your Harry Potter house?
Oh, Gryffindor.
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 So you
Okay.
guys
So I guess.
wait for a certain number of minutes, and you hear a response.
Thank God.
Ooh, he's not dead.
I'm holed up at Forgus's safe house.
Okay.
That sounds like.
And I'm writing down the response as I hear it.
Doesn't Forgus sound like a lunch meat?
So I'm at Forgus's safe house. It's the third house on the left. Third house on the left at Bile Toad Alley in the Kench.
Old Forgus is alive, and you actually found him. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I wouldn't even begin to guess that place was safe during an assault like that. Leave it to old Forgus. Unbelievable.
Could I get a Forgus on rye with a slab of gabagool?
Sylvie, you astound me every day. If I wasn't in such a good mood, I don't know why.
Wait, isn't Forgus the guy with the cult or something?
Well, it's a long story, but he's an old friend, and I don't know if I'd call it a cult. He was always a little eccentric with his conspiracy theories and the things that he would hear and see, And again, with what we've witnessed and the whispers and the old ancient ones and the hags, you know, I just thought maybe he might have more insight than initially thought. People wrote him off as crazy, but I'm not so sure anymore. And if Sheamus tracked him down, then this could be huge.
Let's go.
I think he may be onto something.
Maybe we should go see him before we see... Well, because we know that we can't talk to LeBlanc until tonight because he's a Dracula. So we could go see him right now, and then we could see the serpents.
It's across town, though.
Yeah,
They
fine.
would take all day, which is fine, but
Let's
and
do it.
I would urge you stay close, because we would be going into the Kench again.
I'm bringing my weapons.
How close?
Absolutely. I mean, no doubt.
Do you want me to ride on your back again?
If it pleases you, that's fine.
I'll massage your shoulders.
I'm so happy to hear that Forgus is alive. This could be the first bit of good luck we've had in a while.
Do you want me inside your shirt or outside this time?
Dealer's choice.
Okay, I'm gonna go inside, but it's only for your protection.
Fine.
Okay.
She's a very powerful wizard.
Very powerful.
You'll be very safe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be inside. Don't worry about me. I'll be very quiet.
Alright, well, so, hold on.
Oh shit, it's 11:30.
What about Vito?
We can talk to him after.
What about...
Listen, I understand the importance of talking to the serpents. This is a bit sentimental to me. I honestly wasn't sure if this man was even alive, and I do believe that it would have some benefit to us.
So, here's my
Oh,
thought.
sorry, I forgot to leave out a point. And he says,
You forgot to leave out a
I forgot to put in, I left out a point
gotcha,
in what he
gotcha.
said. So this is important information.
Write
And
it
then Sheamus, after saying, and he tells you where it is, and then he says, the password is Hobgoblin.
Great.
Wait, hobgoblin?
Is the password.
Got it. That doesn't mean anything special to me, does it?
You remember Forgus's love of passwords.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
So this is the thing, okay? I'm gonna be serious for once. I know, shocker. If, for some reason, this stuff comes back, and this sandwich guy on Rye happens to know, actual legitimate information about hags and the plains, and what are you laughing at?
Well, continue. Ignore me!
Anyway, if he happens to know about all this information, we could have valuable information going into our talk with LeBlanc. Any information we can get before we speak to Dracula is better.
She's not wrong.
Well,
obviously.
you certainly can't deploy a fleet right now.
And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I told you. Well, hold on, we're not saying the password yet. Look, I told you my deepest, darkest secret that my favorite color was glitter. My second deepest, darkest secret is I'm not going to ride on Avantris' back for his protection.
Shucks.
I'm still gonna do it anyway. Inside the shirt.
Okay.
For his protection.
Alright, well, so, that's a fair point. I'd say then let's finish, let's go now, and then maybe if we get back, we can meet with LeBlanc if he prefers the night anyway. Maybe we could have an evening meeting with...
Again, the serpents aren't going anywhere. If they want to see us, they'll see us.
Alright, well, 20 minutes. Well, so, hold on. So I go up to, Girthy Grundle.
Yeah, duh. Sorry.
Granda, whatever.
Gerda.
Quite girthy, though.
And
Oh,
I say,
Yuck.
I say, hey, Ganji, can I borrow that thing that, what's her name, gave you, Amalia? Never mind, I woke up. You may know of us by now. The serpents may be coming by, or probably not them, but representatives of the serpents may be coming by later today to summon us or to hold council with us. We are very interested. We'd like to meet in the evening. We have some business to attend to right now. Hopefully we'll be back, and we'll send word if we don't. We have a few ways to do that. Just let them know that we're very interested and that if they could meet this evening, that would be very much appreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she's writing down very fervently. She's still sweating a little bit. She seems still shaken. Things aren't going according to plan, and you can tell that's not a common occurrence for her.
Is it rude to prestidigitation people against their will?
I would say probably common
Would
knowledge.
that ever stop Sylvie ever?
No, I'm an ignorant, non-magic user, so I just want to make sure I'm aware of these things.
We're ignorant normies, you know?
Yeah, right, exactly. Sticking with the pointy end, I would say.
Alright, well, shall we go? Let's
Sure.
get a move on so we can get back.
Okay.
Okay, I grab a few biscuits off the table, put in my pack, and then
You
I
would.
start climbing into Vandris's shirt.
I walk off the.
Don't worry,
Can we
Vandris.
not?
That's just my broomstick.
I don't know how that mechanically works with the broom and your hat and
It's gonna look
Don't ask too many
terrible.
questions.
Alright, okay, you lead the way, and I will try to follow as best I can.
To the Kench.
To the game.
So you guys make your way through the city, and this is the first time you've been able to really. You walk much of the main thoroughfare through the city. The smell of char and destruction is a lot stronger down here. You see the cleanup efforts are beginning, but you still see bodies in the streets. A lot of the crooks are piled up. A lot of them were killed. You get the idea that a huge number of them were slaughtered here. But there are also a lot of humanoids, a lot of citizens, a lot of civilians, along with sea eagles. There's the grimness down here, down in the non-noble, the common folk area. It's feeling dark and it's feeling mournful, and people are moving about slower. So that not as many people in the streets. People are whispering. They're kind of peeking out their windows, and you get a sense of that. A lot of the shops, as you pass by the Scales, which is the shopping district, a lot of stores are closed. A lot of stores are destroyed. You see some stores that get completely obliterated by those huge flaming boulders. You see some people, body parts still underneath some of these boulders, charred to a crisp.
Thank God we sold all of our stuff before the town was destroyed.
Too soon. Too soon. You make your way. The Kench seems to have been hit, but not as hard as some of the other districts. You get the sense that maybe Orpheus or Deidre had told them that there wasn't as much to really steal. You kind of hear people talk about a lot of kidnappings and all of that, certain people kind of being dragged out, but there are some places that are destroyed, but the streets are even more desolate. You guys are able to walk around and look tough. And are you guys trying to be stealthy or look intimidating? What are you guys trying to do?
I would say even with as badass as we actually are, my general disposition would be to draw as little attention to ourselves as possible as we move through the Kench.
So
not necessarily
Kench,
being like
that's
completely
fine.
stealthy, but inconspicuous.
Yeah,
you know?
so why don't we just do a general stealth check? Not like you were creeping through the shadows, but just inconspicuous. Alright, that's a performance check, right?
Yeah, because I want to
Yeah.
look like I'm
Performance
a
check.
grotesque.
Because we're being detected, we're just
Yeah.
trying to act.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to look like I'm a
Performance check.
grotesque lump on Vandris's back.
Nice. Well, I rolled the highest performance check you could ever roll.
I rolled
Which
an 18.
is that sarcasm or?
No, I got a total of 20.
I got a 5, so I'm walking around like,
I rolled a 3, so I'm walking around even worse than that.
I got an 18, so I'm hoping I'm a very convincing
Anulin?
it is the
nodule.
deciding roll.
Sorry, what was it
Perform-
again?
Yep.
Can you roll a performance check, please?
Performance.
To be inconspicuous incognito.
I got a 19.
Okay. Despite the clunky dragonborn dwarf, once again,
usual.
Farnham and Carlisle fucking everything up
Those
again.
are our guard names.
Yeah, the
Our
guard
fake
names.
guard
Far-
names. He's foreign. I'm
Sylvie
Carlisle.
does have a hat. She has a witch's
The
hat.
hat of disguise. Yeah.
Yeah, she stole it from hags.
Yeah. And so you make your way. Avantris can get an idea. He knows the Kedgewell. He knows where Toadboil Alley is, and he finds the house. It looks inconspicuous, except make a perception check as you approach.
Everybody?
Oh, baby. I think I got a 25. Let me check here.
So you just notice that it's meant to look very inconspicuous, but the windows that are visible are very heavily fortified, heavily boarded up. And there seems to be a little slat at the door. And
I'm looking behind us, by the way.
You make a perception check.
All around. Ooh, it's not great. I rolled a 16.
16, okay. Cool. So you look around and you see a couple people kind of eyeing you, but this alley seems to be pretty. People are moving quickly. They're trying to also look inconspicuous as well. You have a couple people that are taking advantage of the chaos and the even lowered presence of sea eagles in the district, so people are kind of being shady, looking at stuff to pilfer. Just real cat burglars more than anything. The door is there, and you're gonna knock. The slit doesn't open, and you hear a voice say, "What's the password?"
Knowing full well that Forgus is potentially insane, I am prepared for this to be some sort of bullshit password, and I say the password is Hobgoblin.
The door opens, and you make a quick perception check.
Oh, God.
23.
Nice.
23. You are able to... You open the door, and all you see is a fist coming at your face. And although you're able to see it in time, it still clocks you.
Can I use, because I'm on his back, can I use my dexterity reaction to, like, shield it with my hand? I'm, like, on him. I'm trying to protect him.
Make a...
So could I use something
Make
to
a
try and do
general
that?
dex check.
This is not going to work. 21.
21? So, your hand is out?
No, like, I'm just on his back. I could easily stick it out of his cloak or whatever. I'm holding on to him. It'd be around his front somewhere.
So, we'll say...
I just want to try and, like, knock it out of the way so it can't actually punch you in the face.
So, a fist comes out from around the door. Sylvie manages it to slap it, and so it was going to clock him square in the jaw, and it only manages to clock him in the chin. And standing at the door, you finally get a better look, and you see Emiria Devil Dance. And she looks at you, and she says, "Where's my fucking boat?" And that's where we'll end the session.
There was a dragon turtle! There was a dragon turtle. Everyone,
Don't
let's
worry,
get
you
our
already
story
planted
straight.
the idea in my brain, Ganji. I'm way ahead of you, buddy.
Oh, God. I'm
Dude,
glad
at
you...
23 and I still got clocked.
You
I
saw
tried.
it coming.
That lady's quick, man. She's
I
quick.
tried.
And so you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Done and done.
He's like,
Probably
happily.
deserved.
Happily.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. It's glad. Thanks for tuning in. We're streaming on both Facebook and Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, just please like our Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, please like our Twitch page. The commentary on Twitch is amazing.
Yeah.
The chat is awesome. It's
Chat is
lit.
so great.
Come to Twitch from Facebook. Just make an account. Seriously, it's free. It's awesome. Twitch is great.
Yeah.
Everybody's still talking over here. It's awesome.
Yeah. And so we'll be streaming next on Monday. That's Call of the Feywild.
Yeah.
That's DM'd by Nikki. Legends of Avengers will be back next Wednesday. So we stream here Wednesdays. We stream Call of the Feywild on Mondays. That's our usual cadence at around 7:30, maybe a little later on Eastern Time. Mondays and Wednesdays. Sometimes we try to get some Saturday sessions, but those are a little bit more ad hoc because, we're going to try to do more of those because people love Saturday sessions. We love Saturday sessions.
Keep your eyes open on the page.
Yeah.
Like I said, personally, I share all of our times on Twitter as well. So if we do decide to do a Saturday session like impromptu, it'll usually be like a heads up, like a day or two in advance, maybe even less. So just keep your eyes open for the pages, and if you want to stop by.
And we'll be posting all the fan art on our Facebook page. And thank you so much. Anything you guys want to send, just let us know. If you haven't already given us your permission, give us your permission. We'll absolutely post it. Thank you so much. If there's any art page you want us to tag, we'll absolutely tag you. We would love to. We'll shill for you. We just really appreciate that you guys are having as much fun as we are. Hopefully, it's half the fun that we are. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I guess those are all the announcements. Katsucon, if you're in the DC area.
Katsucon. And if anybody's still tuning in and hasn't seen the Discord link and would like to join us, let us know in chat. Or if you missed this, just send us a message to the Facebook page, and we can send it over.
Yeah, we'll be sending out the Discord link, and come and hang out. I'm trying to hang out in the Discord whenever I'm on my computer playing League, hanging out. So
we're around.
We'll be around and hanging out with you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you on Monday.
Hopefully.